Alright, hello everyone. How's it going tonight, Jack? Welcome. Sup, Uniton? Alright, so I promised we'd do one more case before we switch over to Halloween stuff for next month. So we're gonna start that today. Case number 4, which is apparently one that everyone's been waiting for, if I'm remembering correctly. This is the Klessy case, I think. Apparently this is a really good one for a number of reasons, if not the fact that there's a clown in it. I think I've seen one single picture of this clown, and that's about all I know of it. I do completely out of context. I didn't even know that clown was from this game. I actually would have thought that the clown was from the previous game, given that, you know, it's a clown and not like some, I don't know, ancient thing, because Korean, I guess. People die in it's practical. You know what? You're right. I mean, we've stretched the definition so far in the last couple of years. I mean, what with like Undertale and some of the other shit we play. But I mean, I don't know. You know what? I can't really argue with that. Did that guy just eat a book? Why did it look like he was eating a book?
5, 6, 7, 8.
Or a fan or something.
What time is it? It's 9, 10, 11.
I think it's time to die. It's probably what the guy behind him would have said. Yeah. No. Was that him? That's not that. No, that's someone else. I thought it was the noodle guy. There's no way the noodle guy died. They're not gonna kill a character off. It's not gonna happen. This man just fell asleep in his noodles, that's all. Are you gonna play the newish Haunted PS1? Yes, yes, that is top of the list. I haven't revealed the schedule yet for next month, because there's still 2 games that I want to test to see if they work, if I can get them working, because they look really interesting, but if they don't work in a specific way, then I'm not gonna stream them. I'm gonna pick something else. But yeah, the PS1 is there. We've got, obviously we've already started System Shock 2, which I didn't stream yesterday, but I did start last week after we finished Metroid. We have Mario B 3313, and there will be at least one other Yume Nikki related project, since that's kind of become a tradition. We'll boot up one of the other games that are on Yume Nikki Online, and we'll play through that. Maybe we'll do some Yume Nikki exploration. I don't know, but I have a couple other things in mind, but I need to still see if I can get them set up, and if I can get them to work in a way that makes them enjoyable. Those 2 statements apply to 2 very different things. So I don't know. That's why I haven't revealed the schedule yet, but tentatively it is complete. I'm just not. I need to still find some time to make sure everything's working. But I mean, October's still a week away, so I'll probably end up revealing it like next Monday or something, most likely. And we do some Yume Nikki. Yeah, we'll definitely do some. I don't know if we'll do literally Yume Nikki 2, but we'll definitely do something Yume Nikki adjacent. I mean, there's like what, dozen plus games that are on that site, and we've played through a couple of them. I'd like to at least play through one of the other ones. So there'll definitely be that. There probably will be a little bit of exploration as well. We'll probably do, but yeah, we'll see about that. I've got other things in mind. I don't know. Should I give a hint about something? Let's just say the tradition from last year will continue. Something related to a game we played last year will likely continue, but I'm not going to make any promises yet. That's why I don't want to say the name of it. But there might be something related to something we played last year, and it's not the demo disc. The demo disc is guaranteed. That's something else. What the heck? Who brings a defendant to his own trial late? Plus, the request was so last minute I didn't even have a chance to talk with my client. He's late. He's late for a very important date. Is this the first one we've had with Athena in this game? I guess so. We actually haven't really... No, she was present for case 2, right? Yeah, she was there for case 2, kind of, a little bit. I think. Did we play Undertale last year? We played Yellow. We played Undertale Yellow last year. Yes, that is correct. We did play that. My name is Athena Sykes. Armed with analytical psychology and a full arsenal of legal know-how, I'm a fully competent defender of the Wright Anything Agency. Oh, I wish my client would show up already. Trial's about to start. Who is our client today? Also, where's Apollo? I can't remember. Did something? Nothing happened to him, right? No. Right, because the last time we saw these two, they were like trying to win back the fucking office because it got claimed. Where have you been? Trial's about to start, Simon. That's your client? What did you do this time, Simon? God damn it, we just got you out of jail, and now you're already back in.
You needn't get so worked up, Athena. His baldness can wait.
There's no way he'd wait for me. And besides, why would I want to start off on the wrong foot with him right out of the gate?
Dealing with such matters is part of being a lawyer, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, covering for your lateness is not.
Still but a rank amateur, I see.
I guess this continues the tradition of defending the prosecutor at some point or another. Although we never did defend... we never defended Franziska. She never got in trouble for anything. She's too perfect for that, I guess. And Godot was kind of behind the defendant's bench because he technically was a defense lawyer, but he wasn't a client. This is Simon Blackwell. You might not look it, but he's actually a prosecutor and a psychology specialist. He and I go way back. As for our shared specialization in psychology, we're both disciples of the same person, so to speak, but he's kind of my senior, I guess. Twisted sense of humor, and no, I wish he'd stop treating me like a child all the time.
So where are Wright Dono and Justice Dono?
Mr. Wright is abroad and Apollo's helping Trucy with her magic show. Didn't I tell you?
They're what? So neither one of them are here, leaving you to take this on alone.
Yep.
Gods. Call Wright Dono back. It's not too late.
It kind of is. It's going to be like an 8-hour flight at minimum. I don't think we can wait that long. Oh no, not too late at all. He would only need to know how to teleport.
Very well. Then I will settle for Justice Dono. Go grab him by the horns and drag him here.
Apollo is literally in the middle of a show, Simon. You may not want to admit it, but I've got what it takes to take on this case. Just leave this to me and go watch from the gallery.
As your defense derails in spectacular fashion.
No, as I win the heck out of this trial. Come on, you should know by now that she's always won. Her and Apollo. She was responsible for at least half those cases last game. I'll be okay, promise. Swipe that look off your face already, will you? Anyway, I take it the guy behind you is...
Yes, he's your... He's asleep again. Hoy, Bucky, wake up!
Ow, what'd you do that for, Simon? Is that our client? Wait, so why is Simon here? Is he the prosecutor? We're getting more than one prosecutor in this game?
Who's this yellow chickadee? She is your lawyer, such as it were. I'd say she's more green than yellow, however.
Lawyer? She sure doesn't look it, does she? Is she like your fellow apprentice or something?
Something like that. I've known her longer than I've known you. You could say we're bound to one another.
Oh, okay. Well then, guess better call her Ms. Chickadee then.
Yeah, you can put those down, you know. You don't have to hold them. Simon, this guy's not only rude, but he's 3 sheets to the wind at his own aisle.
I know we just met, but I'm about ready to give a piece of my mind.
Do as you will. Just save it for after the trial.
Miss Chickadee,
Don't call me that.
how'd you do? Sammy here's an old friend of mine. I'm the 4th generation head chef for Wet Soba. Wet noodle number 4, Bucky Wet. Nice to meet ya.
It's nice to meet you too, Mr. Wet. So he can pull himself together when he wants to. only the trial wasn't starting in a few minutes. Yeah, apparently this one's just a single day case. It's just the court portion. But it's fairly long from what I've been told, so there'll probably be 2 streams most likely.
Having been accused of a murder that only occurred yesterday, I'm afraid it's taken a toll on the poor boy.
And you happened to be there at the theater when it all happened too, right? They said they found a Rakugo storyteller murdered in his dressing room.
Indeed. The victim, Master Storyteller Typhoon Tornado, was a long-time patron of Wet Soba. Master Tornado has been looking after Bucky ever since Wet Doodle number 3 passed away.
See, so the victim was kind of like a father to the defendant, huh?
Stupid old fart. Like a father? Nah way. He was always dishing my soba.
Dare you speak ill of him? But in your mouth like that is why they suspected you of his murder in the first place. Now pull yourself together. Number 3 must be rolling in his grave.
But Slimy. The police, none of them believes me. They won't listen to me.
Looks like he's still in shock from the whole ordeal. I think there's a little more than shock going on here. Although that probably led to the other reason he's like this. Don't worry, Mr. Wet. Everything's gonna be alright. I'm gonna defend you with everything I've got. You're in good hands now.
You mean, you believe me, ma'am?
Of course. No matter what, I'll believe you to the very end.
Gee whiz, Miss Chickadee.
But come on. I need you to shape up. Just like those al dente noodles of yours.
Yes, ma'am. My soba is the freshest.
Mr. Wet.
Bucky, you great big pillock.
So, how exactly do you know this guy?
I used to frequent Web Soba. I still do, in fact. So I've known him since he was a lad. That's why his father and Master Tornado were always so good to me.
I didn't know you liked soba so much, Simon.
I wouldn't expect one such as you who eats meat slapped between slabs of bread to understand the delicate taste and the subtle textures imparted by buckwheat flour.
Hey, that's just rude.
But I digress.
I'm all about flavor and subtlety and stuff.
If I let Wet Soba end like this, I'll never be able to face number 3 or Master Tornado in the Max life.
Ah, I see. And that's why you came to me. You wanted somebody you could trust.
It was never my intention to ask you.
I'll show him. I'll show him I can handle it just fine.
Well, I believe it's just about time.
What? But we haven't even properly discussed the case yet.
What's the matter? You look nervous, Athena. Don't tell me you're chickadeeing out.
I'm just trembling with excitement of battle, that's all. Offgets, let's do this. Come on, Mr. Wet. Get up off the floor. We've got a case to win.
Yes, Miss Chickadee, I'm gonna do my best.
Wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba, wet soba.
What's his cell phone?
Hello, 2 bowls of noodles? Sorry, sir, no can do. Kinda busy at the courthouse. Huh? They hung up. Okay, let's do this.
He's not gonna do himself or his case any favors like this, Simon. Maybe we should let him go get some rest somewhere.
Let me rest? Maybe if I was a lump of regular flour dough for a noodles. But I'm fresh, like my soba. And you don't let soba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and...
He's blacked out.
Oh boy, I just knew something like this would happen. Simon, what are these 3 freshes of soba he was talking about?
First, buckwheat seeds or groats are ground to make buckwheat flour. Then dough made with this flour is cut with a large rectangular knife into noodles. And finally, the buckwheat noodles are boiled. Each step is done immediately, one after the other, so that soba is fresh when eaten.
Oh, so that's what he meant. I wouldn't want him to make me any soba right now, though, that's for sure.
Athena, this is no time for idle chatter. You need to get to the courtroom now. Just remember, as a prosecutor, I will be unable to lend you a hand.
That never stopped Edgeworth.
So don't expect any help from my quarter.
There you go, treating me like an incompetent again. For your information, I wasn't planning on asking for help anyway. Just you wait, Simon. I'll show you. Isn't it, like, kind of a minor offense to be drunk in court, especially if you're on trial? Mr. Wright and Apollo may not be here, but that's alright. I can do this on my own.
Court is now in session for the trial of Bucky Wet.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
The prosecution is fully prepared, Your Honor.
Wow, he gets around fast.
What's this? No prayer this time, Prosecutor Sadbadi?
That is correct, Your Honor. To expedite these proceedings, I completed them beforehand in the lobby.
I don't think that's how that works. You can't just, like, do them in advance. That feels like something you can't just do in advance just to get it out of the way. Like, I feel like that would defeat the purpose of it.
How very thoughtful of you. By the way, what brings you back to this country?
Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth himself called on me to handle this case. Besides, I have a debt to repay, and though my opponent is yet a callow thing, I have no qualms with sending her down to hell.
You have a score to settle. It's with Apollo, not me. But more importantly, I am not a callow thing. I'm a qualified and capable attorney.
And what is that yellow attire if not proof of your immaturity, you small spring chick? Now, cease your shrill chirping.
Now, Prosecutor Satmadi, she is still only a teenager. Please go easy on her.
Great, not even the judge is giving me the kid treatment.
Very well. Shall we begin, Your Honor?
Yes, I suppose we should. Now then, Prosecutor Satmadi, please give your opening statement.
I'll show them what I can do. They'll be sorry they underestimated me.
Certainly. Let the last rites of the victim commence. The incident is believed to have occurred at around 4 p.m. yesterday, May 12th.
He's got that latency to God, so I'll reach him in time. He's got that 1,000 millisecond ping to God. It's gonna take him a hot minute to get the message.
At the Storyteller's Theater, Kuru Kuru Te. The victim was a great master of the Tornado School of Rakugo, or comedic storytelling. His name was Typhoon Tornado.
I wonder if they changed that name at all. I feel like that name was just lifted directly from the original translation.
The scene of the murder was the theater's dressing room.
Why is there like a doghouse back here?
It is accessible via the staff entrance hallway and has an inner and outer sliding door.
God's email inbox is full, he'll get it later. What if it ended up in his spam? And he just never sees it?
The estimated time of death is between 2 p.m. and 5 p.m. The cause of death is suffocation, though how the victim suffocated is yet to be determined.
Suffocation, and yet the table is full of blood? Okay.
The autopsy found nothing unusual in his lungs or stomach, and there is no murder weapon.
Well, then whose blood is that?
I will now submit the incident report to the court.
Coughing blood? But that would imply there was something in his lungs, and then you just said the autopsy then said there was nothing in his lungs. Yeah, like it's suffocation, but if there was nothing in his lungs, then I don't know how he could have coughed up blood. I don't think the death is suffocation here. Prosecutor Samari, how can you name Mr. Wes the culprit when you don't know how the victim was killed, or even with what? While it is true the weapon and precise method are as yet unknown, the accused is the only one who had the opportunity to commit the murder. I will explain this assertion in further detail as we continue. Guess this means there's some kind of evidence to present. Now, would the accused care to plead his case? Yeah, I don't think he's gonna be able to right now. Come to think of it, where is the defendant, Miss Sykes? Sorry, Your Honor, but I'm afraid Mr. Ware isn't feeling very well and is resting in the infirmary. Surely it is the lack of a clear conscience that impedes him from facing this court. Great. Starting off already on the wrong foot. Mr. Wet is the head of chef of a soba shop frequented by the victim. On the day of the incident, Mr. Wet went to the theater at the victim's request. Typhoon Tornado was a connoisseur of soba, as you can see in these photographs. He was apparently making soba himself in his dressing room that very day. So then why did he order soba if he was making it? The soba found at the scene is likely the soba he himself made there. Liking soba's one thing, but making it in a theater dressing room is a bit much, no? Master Tornado truly had a passion for soba, didn't he? There's 2 cups? Wait, was there actually? Hang on. I mean, yeah. Oh yeah, I guess you're right. I was thinking like he used 2 cups on his own, but then I realized that how stupid that sounds. So he definitely had guests, although only one person ate the camel treats, which are also apparently the same manufacturer of the sake. How much you want to bet that's the sake that Bucky here was drinking? A man like that to be murdered by a soba chef is simply unthinkable. And yet the accused had ample motive, for in the victim's safe we discovered the deed to the accused's shop. Mr. Wet was to inherit Wet soba when he lost his father recently. However, it's believed the victim stole the shop's deed during the transfer process. The prosecution believes the accused killed the victim in order to get the deed back. A murder over the deed to a shop. That does sound like a plausible motive. So that's what this case is about. I wish Simon had filled me in a little better. Could have contributed more than just 1,000 buckets of cold sweat if he had. Defense. From your demeanor, I gather you know very little about the details of this case. Well, you see... You are dishonoring the soul of the victim by appearing in the courtroom unprepared. You are an embarrassment to your profession, you putrid egg yolk. Wow, that's like a million steps up from whatever Apollo was called last time. I'm sorry. Paul's a red pepper and now I'm a egg yolk? At least you're like animal adjacent. Well, you just started. I've already been demoted from spring chick. I'm ready to call my witness, Your Honor. Yeah, not even like a full egg, just the yolk of an egg. Let us listen to the words of one who was present when the crime was discovered. Someone who was there when the victim's body was found? Very well. Witness, please take the stand. Is this the clown? No, it's just Blackwell. That's true, he did say he was there. Maybe he was the drinking buddy. Witness, please state your name and occupation. Actually, no, he couldn't be the drinking buddy because if he was, surely they would have arrested him for murder.
Simon Blackwell, prosecutor.
Prosecutor Blackwell? You didn't tell me you were going to take the stand.
There simply wasn't time.
What a shame, Prosecutor Blackwell. Had you shared the damning scene you witnessed before with the defense, we could have moved this trial along and saved the victim's soul that much faster. Damning scene? What in the world did Simon see?
Prosecutor Sadmadi, was it? Before I give my testimony, there's something I'd like to confirm.
By all means.
This case involves rakugo, a very traditional form of Japanese comedic storytelling. Do you have enough knowledge of this art form to handle the case competently?
Ooh, already throwing shade. Are you implying that I'm not qualified for this case?
Not yet. I'm simply trying to ascertain your familiarity with the topic. For now.
It's the prosecutor's duty to learn the background of any case he takes on. I did some research on Rakugo last night, and I've grasped the overall idea of it.
How much could you possibly grasp in a single night?
Can we just, like, watch them have a fist fight in the parking lot? Because that'd be kind of sick. I want to see them throw down. Are those supposed to be rice balls? I guess they're probably rice balls. I was thinking more like, they just, like, fucking read off a Wikipedia article for, like, the last hour and a half and now everyone's asleep. This traditional art was originally invented by monks to make sermons more interesting. Are you satisfied? If not, I could explain the 12 types of endings to such stories. Or shall I perform the famous story of Jigumu instead?
It appears you have put in a bit of study.
Your acknowledgement is most welcome, Prosecutor Blackquill. I can see why you are known for being quite thorough in your research, Prosecutor. Now, I would love to see you perform that story you mentioned, if you don't mind. If that is your honor's request. Jugemu, Jugemu. Your Honor, could we please get back to the trial? Oh, right, of course. I nearly forgot. Seriously, of all the things for you to forget. Now then, back to the case. Prosecutor Blackquill, please tell this court what you witnessed.
I went to the theater yesterday and arrived at approximately 4 p.m. I went straight to Master Tornado's dressing room to say hello. Bucky went into the dressing room thereafter, only come storming out a while later. Master Tornado's junior disciple, Uendo, apparently entered the room soon after. That's when Uendo discovered Master Tornado's body.
Now, wait just a minute here, Prosecutor Blackquill. With testimony like that, you're practically accusing Mr. Wood of the crime.
All I can do is state what I saw. I can't help how it appears. But a qualified and capable attorney such as you should be able to dispatch with it, right?
Well, yeah, duh. Alright, guess I better start by getting all the info out of him that I can. $4 p.m. seems like a good place to start. When did the crime take place? 2 and 5. Okay. Seems legit. Never mind. Prosecutor Blackquill, what did you go into the theater for in the first place?
I went because I had received an invitation from Master Tornado. Here, you see for yourself. It was a special show commemorating his junior disciple Uendo's promotion. It was also an occasion to announce the boy's succession to the stage name of Uendo II.
So what exactly does it mean to succeed to a stage name?
You really don't know, do you? In the performing arts, a name succession is when an artist inherits a predecessor's name.
I see. So there was another Uendo Kugo artist before this and disciple succeeded him, huh? And what exactly did your invitation say?
It contained a simple letter of salutations and an outline of the show's program.
Oh, it appears Typhoon Tornado was going to perform Toki Soba, or Time Soba. He is famous for his masterful pantomime of eating soba using only his fan as a prop. And Uendo was to perform Soba Se, or Soba Glutton, a soba-themed show, I see.
It seems you know a thing or two about Rakugo yourself, your baldness. The first to perform the senior disciple, Geiru, followed by Ayuendo, and lastly Master Tornado.
I'm sensing a theme with these names. See, so that's why you happened to be at the Storyteller's Theater yesterday. So what happened after you arrived? Look, are you gonna object to him calling the judge bald? Do you know what this guy is capable of, Yoten? Have you seen what he can do? You don't mess with him. He can call you whatever he wants, and you will let him call you whatever he wants. And there is nothing you can do about that. Now, mind you, he might refrain because he probably wouldn't want to go back to jail for a second time. But he has proven why he's able to get away with it. Let's just say they had to use some pretty powerful, I almost want to say, like, cattle level of equipment, like the kind you use to shock cows to keep them in line. They had to use that to keep this guy down. How did Master Tornado appear when you said hello to him?
I went with the intention of greeting him, but ultimately we didn't actually meet.
You didn't see him? Why not?
Giru escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done.
You heard Rakugo being performed in the dressing room?
Yes, not just me, but Giru as well.
In other words, you can confirm that the victim will still arrive at around 4 p.m.?
Correct. I couldn't hear him clearly through the doors, but I'm sure it was Master Tornado. I could tell because it was the time soba routine being performed in there.
So that means the victim was killed sometime after that. So that narrows it down to an hour, basically. Please tell us in detail how Mr. Wright appeared at the time.
Gator and I were waiting in the hallway for Master Tornado to finish practicing, when Bucky appeared and entered the dressing room with his things.
What happened after that?
We heard what sounded like Bucky shouting inside the room. About 10 minutes later, Bucky came back out of the dressing room looking rather irate.
This is most likely when the murder was committed. The victim was an elderly man. It would have been entirely possible to kill him within the span of 10 minutes. I'd be able to come up with some kind of counter-argument and fast. What do you mean by apparently? Didn't you see him go in?
No, I couldn't. I wasn't able to see the dressing room door from where I was standing at the time. But Geiru was right in front of it, so I'm sure she saw it all.
I see. And why do you suppose Wendo went into the dressing room anyway?
He had just finished his routine, so he was making a courtesy call. A disciple is to pay their master respect right before and after each performance.
And all disciples are expected to do this?
Yes, it's common courtesy among Rakugo artists.
I see. Could you tell us what happened after Endo went into the dressing room?
Certainly.
And how did Endo act at the time?
After Endo had been in the dressing room for 2 or 3 minutes, we heard a scream from inside the room, and Endo came flying out.
Did you hear any signs of a struggle at that time?
No, just Endo's woeful scream.
I see.
Well done, Prosecutor Blackwell. Your testimony's given us quite a glimpse into the sequence of events.
Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. And now please allow me to summarize your testimony. While Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru were in the hallway waiting for Master Tornado, the accuser came along and entered the dressing room with some items in tow. What if the dog did it? What if the dog just, like, snuck out of the yard into the dressing room and just decided to, like, kill him for some reason? He was heard shouting for a time inside the dressing room, and about 10 minutes later he came back out of the room seeming rather angry. A short time after the accused had come and gone, Endo Tornado went into the room. Yeah, there's a dog here. Isn't that what this symbol's supposed to represent? They haven't mentioned a dog, but I mean, why else would there be a dog wall and a doghouse in this diagram? Let alone a marker signifying the existence of a dog. I don't know what kind of dog it is. But based on my experience with dogs, they're all pretty vicious. A few minutes later, after having discovered the victim's body, Wendo gave a scream and came running out into the hallway from within. Prosecutor Blackwell and Geiru then ran into the room and saw the body for themselves. From the circumstances, it is quite clear that the accused murdered the victim. This is crucial testimony indeed. Defense. An eyewitness has given conclusive testimony. Why not let it all go now and allow the victim his last rites? On your life. If Wendell went into the dressing room too, and was the first to discover the body, then who's to say he didn't commit the crime? Wendell was in the dressing room for a mere 2, perhaps 3 minutes. He could not have possibly committed murder in that time, nor without making any noise. How do you know? We've seen faster murders. That's like super slow in the grand scheme. What kind of dogs have you met that think they're all vicious? Like tons? Pretty much every dog, and every single time the owner's like, oh, they don't bite. Fucking bullshit. Absolute bullshit. Being chased around the neighborhood by dogs definitely does not instill confidence that your dog doesn't bite. Simon, why'd you have to give that awful testimony? Prosecutor Blackwell, can't you give me something a little better to work with here?
Isn't it up to you to ask the right questions? I'm certainly willing to tell you all that I know. So if you truly are as capable as you claim, then draw out what you need yourself.
So time for your twisted games, Prosecutor Blackwell. Just admit you don't remember it at all that well. That's not how you... No, you kind of have to ask questions. That's how court works. That's literally how court works. You have to ask things. If you don't ask something, they don't have to say it. Prosecutor Blackwell, watching you collude with the defense like this, I see that you're no prosecutor. Begone, witness. You shall haunt the sacred hall no more.
How dare you treat me like some evil spirit to be exorcised? I'll remember this, you blackguard.
Don't worry, Prosecutor Blackwell. I've got this. Would I have my way, he would not be the only one here to step down. You, half-boiled putrid egg yolk. Ew. I object to the notion I'm a gooey, smelly mess. Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony was like the lowly opening of a Rakugo show. He may hold the title of prosecutor, but this time he stood on the side of the defense. To restore balance to this trial, I'd like to present an actual witness for the prosecution. And who is this witness? The person who was with Prosecutor Blackwell when the body was discovered. She is another entertainer of the Tornado School, Miss Geiru Tornado. Is this the clown? This is probably the clown. There it is. Please state your name and occupation, witness. Hello everyone, I'm here to represent Tornado School with a twisty twist. Wow, where'd the balloon go? That's a better magic trick than Trucy. She could learn a thing or two. And balloon! There you have it, a stunning balloon hat. It's me, balloon artist you all know and love, Geiru Tornado. Just call me Geiru, sweetie. 1, 2, balloon. Oh boy. Oh, what a way to capture your audience's attention. I dare say I can't keep my eyes off those balloons. Please tell me you're talking about the hat, Your Honor. Oh, Mr. Judgy, I'm so glad you liked my performance. Would you consider joining my fan club? Pretty please? Oh, absolutely. And please save your fanboying for after the trial, Your Honor. Anyway, Geiru, I can't help but notice you seem awfully cheerful for having just lost your master. Do you think the murder weapon's hiding under that hat? Of course I'm sad, but Shisho would scold me if I didn't put on a big smile. Never show sadness. Smile, 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 with the twisty twist. And balloon! There you have it, one gorgeous cake. I see. I guess an entertainer's gotta do what an entertainer's gotta do. Balloon art's worse than a Rose Arch test. All I saw was a severed monster head. I think you need your eyes checked if you think that's anything but a cake. Gato, you're obviously a balloon artist, so how did you come to be a member of a Rakugo school? Well, my father, my late father that is, was a Rakugo artist, you see. So I joined the tornado school to be just like my daddy someday. I see. My father and I owe so much to Shiso, our master, but that Bucky wet. Ooh, how could he? I want to see him pay for what he's done as quickly as possible. Your distress is entirely understandable, and my condolences for your loss. And not only that, but he... You have more to say about Mr. Wet? Every time someone comes delivered sober to us, he yells at me. He always tells me to get away. Is there any reason why he would say such a thing to you? He says the smell of my perfume will get into his soba and ruin it. Like, how can he say that? This is a great scent. How very rude of him. I don't blame you for being upset. Excuse me, Your Honor, but please don't let Gato's balloons bias your judgment. Mr. Wet hasn't been proven guilty yet, remember? I'm curious what scent that is. I feel like that might be important to the case. It'll be interesting to see how long that 5 years will last, defense. Now then, Gato, please share the truth with this court. That's true, she could definitely be hiding it elsewhere. There's a number of places I could imagine her hiding something. Yes, Gato, your testimony, please. Why do I feel like we're gonna actually find the murder weapon in court on her? From 4 p.m. to a little after 4:20 p.m., when Shiso's body was found, Simon and I were standing in the hallway in front of the dressing room. Before our window discovered the body, the only person who had gone in there was Bucky. Come to think of it, a little while before Bucky showed up, Jigemu was barking like mad. I'm guessing that's the dog. I'm hoping that's the dog, or I'm gonna have many questions. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have any objections to this witness's testimony?
No. Make up your bloody mind, sad monk Sadmari. First you exercise me, now this.
You need only do as you are instructed by this humble servant of the Holy Mother. As there are no objections, Your Honor, let us move on to the salvation of the victim's soul. Hey, I'm the defense attorney here, Prosecutor Sadmari, and I just might have an objection or two once I actually cross-examine the witness. So what are you asking Prosecutor Blackwell for? I'm the one you should be checking with. There is a passage in the sacred scriptures of Kurenism. To stir the wind is beyond the power of a spring chick. In other words, the inexperienced are useless. With that in mind, it seemed more judicious to consult Prosecutor Blackwell.
He doesn't even see you as an adversary, Sykes Dono.
Well, I won't let either one of you assault me. I'll show you I'm no inexperienced spring chick. Yeah, you're a half-boiled egg yolk. There's a big difference between the two. Your Honor, I'm ready to cross-examine the witness. I hope you can make Prosecutor Sadmari see you as a worthy adversary, Miss Sykes. I'll allow your cross-examination, so you'd better strike while the iron is hot. So the murder must have happened sometime in those 20 minutes, correct? But 20 minutes isn't a lot of time, is it? I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to say? That's what happened, you know. Isn't that right, Simon?
Yes, Gato and I can both confirm that Master Tornado still lived at around 4 p.m.
Oh yeah, you can, can't you? See? The fact that the two of you were there in front of the dressing room means you were able to see everyone who went in and out, right? Of course. Are you insinuating that I was daydreaming or sleeping or standing up or something? No, of course not. I saw everything, I tell you. You know, when someone insists that they saw everything, usually means they're hiding something. Fine, so you say anyway. But did you really? I have a feeling this is the statement we want to present on. Only the defendant Innuendo entered around the time of the murder. That's right. That's why it must have been Bucky who killed poor Shisho. Let's take a deep breath, okay, Kato? So, not a single other person stepped foot into the dressing room during that time? I already told you over and over, didn't I? There was nobody else. I must apologize on the lawyer's behalf. Even her memory is that of a spring chick's. Please overlook her transgression as best you can. Oh, I see. Poor thing. Hang in there, sweetie. Hey, who are you calling a bird brain, buddy? Jigemu? That's my doggy. I keep him at the theater. Let's see. With the twisty twist. See, I told you that dog was evil. And Bloon. There you have it. My cute little Jigemu. He's kind of creepy looking. Oh, but he's a really, really good boy. And why was Jugemo barking? Do you think it's because he saw someone suspicious? If so, then we'd have a new suspect in this case. Now why was he barking again? Oh, I remember. Because it was time for me to feed him. So I went to his yard and gave him some food. Couldn't somebody else have slipped into the dressing room while you were doing that? Nope. The door out the yard was wide open. I would have seen if anybody went into the dressing room. Prosecutor Blackwell, come down to the stand for a sec, please.
How many times must I do this?
You saw what Gator was talking about, right? So why didn't you mention it before?
I can't be expected to remember every minute detail.
Well, remember them now, please. Did Gator go out into the yard?
Yes, I remember now that she went to feed Jugemu. And I saw her looking towards the dressing room quite frequently as well.
This is actually kind of interesting. We've got like a witness corroborating another witness. And we can trust at least one of these witnesses, I feel. Like, I don't think Blackwell's gonna lie to us. So this makes for a very interesting cross-examination. Do you recall anything else?
It looked as though she were feeding the dog a great quantity of dumplings or something. Jugemu couldn't finish them all, so he buried the rest in the corner of the yard.
Why are you feeding a dog dumplings?
That's about all I can remember.
It looks like Gato was telling the truth. Your Honor, I'd like Gato's last statement added to her testimony. As you wish, defense. You know what this means, right, Gato? You weren't in the hallway the entire time after all, were you? Oh, okay, so I did go out into the yard, but it was just for a second, and the yard door was wide open, so I could still see the dressing room the whole time. It was open so she could still see the dressing room? Prosecutor Blackwell, I need you on the stand again, please.
What am I, your lady-in-waiting?
Do you remember anything about the time Gato was in the yard?
Simply that Jugemu buried the food he couldn't finish in the corner of the yard. That's about all I can remember.
Thank you. I didn't really need to hear about the dog again, though. When I finished feeding Jugemu, I returned to the hallway. And then I saw Bucky go into the dressing room. No question about it. Okay, so around the time of the murder, Gato and Simon were hanging out just outside the dressing room. Guess I'm gonna have to find a flaw in there somehow if I want to get anywhere. I think I know where this flaw might be. Right here. Could you really have seen the door to the dressing room? So you were able to keep an eye on the dressing room while you were out in the yard. Is that correct?
That's right. The door out into the yard was wide open.
Sorry, but that makes zero sense. Take a look at this diagram of the backstage area. There's a clear contradiction between this diagram and the witness's testimony. Oh? I'm afraid I don't understand, Miss Sykes. Please point out what contradicts the witness's testimony. While she's in the yard, this door swings open towards the yard, so it would completely block the view. Unless you're telling me this is also a door up here beside Blackwell, but I think that was just a window given that picture from earlier.
Gator was in the yard near the doghouse. Prosecutor Blackwell even saw her there. And while she was out there, the door to the yard had been left open.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, if the door to the yard was wide open, as Gator said,
it would have blocked her view, making it impossible for her to see the dressing room. Next, they're going to tell us that the door had windows in it. I can see it now.
What? No way!
But even if there was admittedly a few moments Gator was not keeping watch, how much would that really affect this case?
It would greatly affect the case. From the spot Prosecutor Blackwell stood, he couldn't see the dressing room door either. Anyone could have entered the dressing room during that time without being seen. Gator, why did you try to hide the fact that you weren't watching the dressing room? What? I...
Hide the fact? You speak as though you think she had something to do with the murder. Rather than deliberate deception, it was more likely a simple oversight. Right, witness?
Well, I was so shocked by what happened. I was just confused, that's all.
Even though she is trying to keep up a brave front as an entertainer, the truth is that she is being torn apart by grief. For her mind to be in turmoil is hardly unexpected.
Yes, it must be pretty difficult indeed.
To a disciple, one's master is akin to a real parent. Surely her shock is immense. The way this lawyer tries to pin the blame on this poor soul in the first opportunity. All I can say is, defense attorneys are heartless creatures indeed.
Says the man who's, like, insulting her.
But that wasn't what I was trying to do.
Is it beyond your comprehension, defense? Your unskilled argument is scarring this witness even further. And if we asked the people of this courtroom, I'm sure they would agree.
Made me get her therapy. Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we got a therapist in the house. Although it seems kind of insensitive see, this works really well as an insult because he's basically saying that the therapist is being insensitive to the person with like mental trauma.
What? The gallery doesn't get a say in this.
Are you afraid to find out that they think ill of you? Or that perhaps you are in the wrong? Listen to them now with that keen sense of hearing you are so proud of.
I think there's some bias here too, given the balloons. She's a very good balloon artist. People are very impressed.
No, I was just trying to find the truth. Why is the gallery siding with Prosecutor Sadmati?
The people understand. They know what is right and what is wrong.
I hear the voices of the gallery. I can hear the voices of their hearts. It's so intense. I feel so alone up here, fighting by myself.
Are you afraid, child? It is ludicrous to come to trial with such paltry preparation of the soul. I command you to leave this courtroom at once.
But I can't give up. I have to keep pressing on. As long as there's a moment when nobody was watching the dressing room door, the defendant can't be convicted solely on Prosecutor Blackwell and Nageto's testimonies.
Even now you would continue to resist? You are childish in defeat as well, I see.
I'm not out for the count yet, Buster. I'm just getting started.
Despite your posturing, is it not true that your resolve could crumble at any moment? With but a little push, you would surely succumb to despair.
Wow, he wasn't so, like, manipulative earlier.
A little push such as with this piece of conclusive evidence.
I don't know, it didn't seem like he came across as this manipulative in the other cases.
Conclusive evidence, huh?
That is correct. We found a critical piece of evidence at the scene of the crime. The victim's dying message, which clearly implicates the accused, Bucky Wet. Look at these Japanese playing cards, known as karuta, lined up on the table. These special English version karuta cards spell out a message. That message, wet number 4.
Wet number 4? You mean wet noodle number 4?
Yes, wet noodle number 4, as the fourth head of chef of Wet Sopa is also known. This message points to none other than the accused Bucky Wet.
Well, sure, but doesn't mean he's a murderer.
That makes perfect sense, doesn't it? Wow, great job, Mr. Prosecutor. Oh no, this is really, really bad. What do I do?
Would you still carry on your futile fight in the face of this irrefutable evidence?
You can say whatever you want, but we don't know until...
It is cruel to give the accused false hope. You will only compound his suffering. Wise people of the courtroom, do you not agree?
What an incompetent noob. Oh my god.
Well, what? But I'm trying to prove Mr. Wet's innocence here.
I know you can hear them. Defense. Their voices implore you to save the accused's soul. It is time for you to let it go and move on, you inexperienced lawyer. You lack the competence with which to accomplish anything meaningful here.
Is he right? Is this too much for me to handle on my own?
Now defense. Leave everything to this humble servant of the Holy Mother.
Oh!
He's trying to use your keen sense of hearing against you to manipulate the trial, Athena. What a cheap trick for a supposedly holy man.
Simon!
And you fop doodles in the gallery. Can a man watch the trial in peace? This inexperienced amateur is about to turn the trial around.
I thought he said he wasn't allowed to help. That's okay, I'm sure Edgeworth will forgive him.
When this courtroom is starting to change. Prosecutor Blackwell, what are you doing at the defense's bench?
I grew bored of watching from the gallery. Besides, if I were to leave this trial to this spring chick and lose my favorite soba shop in the process, I will be quite cross. You voluntarily stand on the side of impurity and sin. Truly, what a fool you are. To think you were so easily manipulated by his parlor tricks. Whatever happened to qualified and capable, Athena?
I just let my guard down a little bit, but it won't happen again.
Then gird up your loins and steel yourself for battle.
I'm not girding anything up in this skirt, but I am ready to get serious.
It seems there is now yet another soul I must cast down into hell. I was in prison for a long time, and hell sounds no worse than cell, to be honest.
But what if hell in a cell?
Ah, but the fires of hell will not be the end of your suffering. For the sin you have just committed, you shall surely be reborn as a panda in your next life. A white and black, reverse panda, that is.
How does that work?
And you shall be put in a zoo to be exposed to public ridicule.
I feel like that won't work on Prosecutor Blackwell. After all, he's already used to looking like a panda in this life.
Who are you calling a panda?
Sorry. I see that you are both prepared to face the fires of damnation. Geru, thank you for your service. You may step down now. Okie dokie. Bye bye, balloon. Does everything have to be about balloons with her?
Yes, everything.
Now then. I have a witness prepared to testify about the Karuta cards.
How does someone even tell the difference? Actually, isn't there kind of a way? I thought like there was I don't think it was zebras, but I thought there was another animal that like people joke about. Yeah, isn't it tigers or something where there actually is like a correct order to call their colors? Like the stripes the black and orange, I thought like one of them actually was the stripes. Like scientifically, one of them is the stripes and the other isn't the stripes. So I mean, maybe you could have a reverse panda. I'm not sure.
Who is the witness this time? The first to discover the body and someone who witnessed the crime scene firsthand. Mr. Rendo Tornado. The time has come for that ponytailed pair over there to finally let it all go and move on. Very well, let's bring this witness in then. Witness, please state your name and occupation. I am the Rakugo storyteller, Wendo Tornado. Even if my performance isn't worth watching, I would certainly watch my words. I wouldn't want to say anything thoughtless and get arrested. Foreshadowing? Perhaps? After all, that'd be, Rakunono.
Oh, great. In case the name puns weren't enough.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Hey, you can't just leave. Get back here. You didn't give testimony yet. Look at this smooth talker. He's definitely the killer.
You can't just leave yet. You only just introduced yourself. Oh, my. Are you a fan of mine, miss? Would you like my autograph? One moment. Ow! What do you think you're doing? No need to stand on ceremony. My fan deserves a fan, after all. A fan for a fan. Nice one. Oh, why if it isn't Simon? How are you on this fine day, sir? Quite a dilly of a pickle we found ourselves in, wouldn't you say?
I don't believe I've ever seen you talk quite so much, Wendo.
Never performed in a place like this, you know? I got butterflies here, can't you see? Why do I always get the weird ones?
Because you work for Phoenix, that's why.
Pardon me, witness.
I guarantee there's like a super normal, like, I don't know, civil rights, civil case over in the other courtroom right now. Super normal, no weird witnesses, nothing. Most boring trial you've ever been to.
As much as I enjoy your banter, I believe we had better return to the case at hand. I suppose you're right. In that case, I was promoted to Futatsume yesterday and I received the stage name of Wendo. The show was our way of celebrating my new name and middle rank standing. And then that happened. I never dreamed of something like that to happen, not in a million years. And I just got my chance to start repaying my debt to Shiso, too. Yeah. Plus, I'm worried about Geru.
His name is a pun meaning inappropriate puns. Oh, because this Inuit. Okay, see, I thought it was like wind because everyone else's name is something to do with wind or like some sort of like wind phenomena. And I think his name is probably partially that too, but his name just, it didn't really work as wind. Like it felt wrong because It's the wrong vowels in there, but you're right. That's exactly what it is. It just kind of also happens to be wind-related, tangentially.
The way she clung to Shiso. Poor thing. I told her to keep a stiff upper lip. Stiff like rigor mortis. Keep telling those lame jokes and Shiso will come scold you from the grave. I wouldn't mind getting yelled at, you know, if it meant sending Ian him again.
Wendo, please. As charming as your various characters are, this isn't a Rakugo stage.
Let us hear your testimony now, witness. Tell the court about the evidence left at the scene, the proof of the accused's guilt. I noticed Jisu's dying message right away. The stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, you see.
Hey, now enough with the silly puns already.
Anyway, I got the meaning right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky.
That was the master's final message. Left as he was drowning in soba broth.
So like Shiso to not write Bucky's name outright. Plain and simple wasn't his style.
Well, that was certainly a more entertaining testimony than usual. The variety of characters performed by the witness was absolutely splendid. They should be performing any characters in the first place, Your Honor.
Yeah, but he's a character witness. That's kind of his job.
And Wendo, the murdered weapon hasn't been determined yet. So how can you say the victim was drowned in soba broth?
It's obvious. All you have to do is look at the crime scene. He was found with his face shoved in a bowl.
It's only natural to assume he was drowned in the broth for the noodles. Except we're not here to assume things, Wendo, so please just stick to the facts. My.
It's not like a soba chef to kill someone this way, wouldn't you say?
And with the Karuta message he left behind, it's clear Bucky Wet did it.
Setting aside the issue of the murder weapon for now, that dying message certainly does seem to be irrefutable evidence. Indeed. It proves the absolute guilt of the accused.
Ugh. Even I've got to admit that I can't see how that message could mean anything else.
Bucky used the soba for the deed all to get back the soba shop deed.
And he actually looks pretty comfy up there on, what are those, like, rice sacks?
This testimony makes Mr. Wet look super guilty. I have to do something.
That's his conclusive evidence. What a farce.
What do you mean, Simon?
What's this? I thought you said you weren't planning on asking me for help.
I did, and I won't, thank you very much. Someone must have found an inconsistency in the testimony. I better listen carefully and try and see what he found. Wendo, when you saw the cards on the table, what made you think they were Master Tornado's dying message?
Well, it was a coded message right there next to the body. I'm sure anybody would have thought that they were there to name his killer. I love murder mysteries and often watch them on TV.
Oh? I see.
I saw a similar scene during a murder mystery marathon last Tuesday. That's what made me think, this must be a dying message.
Is that where the police get all their leads from, too? TV?
Cards were on the table your master's body was slumped over, right? You must have been surprisingly calm to notice them at the time.
As I said, the stiff cards were right there next to the stiff, so they were hard to miss.
Wouldn't it have been more natural to notice the victim rather than the cards?
The message just caught my eye because the stiff cards were there right next to the stiff.
Yes, but that fact hardly seems significant enough to make a person take note of them.
Stiff cards next to the stiff.
So basically, there was no real reason for them to catch your eye, was there?
But you also don't seem to be talking very forthright here. Criticizing your master for not doing it, it's like, now you're also doing it.
That's right. I need to give your testimony. Need you to give testimony, not perform a scene. Please remember you're on the witness stand, not the stage. But look at these wonderful people in the audience. It's only natural for an entertainer to want to have some fun. I guess we can let a few jokes slide, right? Ah, the inevitable bleeding of your work into other areas of your life. I know how that is. I find myself being unwittingly judgmental in my personal life too. Right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Well done, Your Honor. Guess you can't judge a judge by his cover. I advise the defense not to be so critical of the witness. Yes, Your Honor. Much obliged. The cards do spell out wet number 4, which could be interpreted as wet noodle number 4, I guess. I suppose you took this to mean Bucky wet. There's only one wet noodle around here, and you've seen that giant 4 on his back. It's only an interpretation that makes sense. Yeah, I guess so. Oh, wait a minute. What is it? What if there's another wet noodle in the area? They're not a franchise, are they? What? Did I say something strange?
Bucky is the sole heir to the shop. So enough with the ludicrous straw grasping.
Hey, how was I supposed to know?
Just listen to the testimony again and find the glaring inconsistency.
So the victim lined up those cards in his final moments? How can you be so certain that's how it went down?
I know Shisho. He would never let someone get the last word on him, even in death. With his face in the soba broth and his consciousness fading away, he left a message that pointed toward Bucky as he left this world. It's the only way it could have happened.
Wait, the only way? Now you're just speculating. He wasn't before?
Look,
A dying message is something you leave as you're dying, right?
I saw a scene like that in a detective show. Uendo, we have a saying in my country, silence is more precious than diamonds. Please do not speak any more than is necessary. But talking is my livelihood, you know? I talk all the time, this and that, truths and untruths. I can't stop myself from talking.
Hopefully he'll stick to the truths without any of those untruths. But don't you think it's strange? Could a dying person really leave such a convoluted message? Seems like a lot of work. I mean, I still have a hard time believing that Mia wrote her name in blood on the receipt, and that's like 3 letters.
Even in the throes of death, it was Shiso's nature to throw in a twist somehow. Truly the consummate entertainer to the very end, don't you think?
Was he really that grave a man, Simon?
It would have been no easy task, to be sure. But who knows? He wasn't an entertainer for 55 years for nothing.
If I ever bite the big one like that, I want to leave a message as good as Shiso's. Well, let's hope it never comes to that. Simon, are all Rakugo artists like this?
It's hard to say. It could simply be the eccentricity of an entertainer. Perhaps he's hiding something.
Well, he doesn't have to entertain people in a court of law. If he is trying to hide something, maybe it'll show up as a contradiction or something. Or it's just more audience manipulation, which seems to be the theme of this case. Alright, let's see what we got here. It's been a while since I've looked at the evidence. I probably should do that. Can we see these cards at all in any great detail? Not the greatest detail. I feel like we're just supposed to... Are we supposed to just take his word that they say number 4? I guess they kind of do. Is that supposed to be a W?
That looks like a 10, not a W. Like, that's not a W. I can kind of see that being an H. B, T, sure, number 4. I'm just going to assume that's a W and take their word for it, but still weird. The victim is making soba noodles from scratch in the dressing room. The room is covered in soba flour. There are 2 drink cans in the fridge. That's of note. Alright. I guess I'm committing a crime here. I'm looking super suspicious because I keep both Pepsi and root beer in my fridge. What else we have for anything in here that's of value for this one? Discover the victim's body upon entering the room after Bucky left. It might shiver his timbers. When do you have time to lay the cards out? Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, that seems so convoluted. It's so, like, perfectly placed. He couldn't have done it. I don't think he did it. But how do we prove that? Got the mean right away. I knew it must have been talking about Bucky. That the Masters found messages left as he was drowning in soba broth. Wait, he wasn't drowning though, he suffocated. There's a difference. Nothing was found in his lungs.
Objection!
There's a contradiction in Innuendo's testimony. And would you care to explain where, Miss Sykes?
Yeah, they're like stained in blood, yet the autopsy says he suffocated, and yet this guy's saying he was drowning in his noodles? Like, how did he die? Which is it? He can't die 3 different ways.
Certainly, Your Honor. According to the autopsy report, nothing unusual is found in the victim's lungs. Ah, yes, it does say that, doesn't it? If he had drowned in a bowl of soba, then there should have been soba broth in his lungs. But since there wasn't any, it means the victim was suffocated with something other than soba broth.
Look, stop spitting your tea out in court here. This isn't the home of challenge tea spitting. What?
It's a contradiction you notice, isn't it, Simon?
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Guess I showed you. But if drowning in the soba broth wasn't the cause of death, then when was the victim's face thrust into that bowl?
I mean, he could have just, like, fallen into it, no? It was probably after his murder, then. Because he would have had to have been dead first. It would have been during, because then he might have drowned, and that would have changed how he died. The same with before, because we found him like that, so that seems a little weird. It's got to be after.
Because no soba broth was discovered in the victim's lungs, his head must have been placed into the bowl after he was killed.
Now you want to try some soba noodles now? I've never had soba noodles. I've had cold spaghetti. That's probably not quite the same thing. Cold spaghetti's pretty sticky, but I've heard soba noodles are pretty good. I wouldn't mind trying them.
And that's when the soba broth must have been spilled onto the Karuta cards.
Oh, is that just soba broth? Is that not? Oh my. I don't think that's blood. I think that's just the broth. Of course it is. It just looks red because the table is like a wooden color. Like if you spill clear liquid on a brown table like that, it's gonna appear a little reddish. Maybe not that red. It's probably, you know, also all the seasonings and stuff in the broth. I don't know. As someone who's never had soba noodles, I don't know what they put in that broth. But that would make a whole lot more sense than it being blood. I'm down to believe that's broth and not blood. Yeah, I mean, you can have some pretty red broth. I mean, if you've ever had ramen, you know how yellow it can get from spices. So, I read about, like, how soba is made one time, and I can't quite remember what's all put in it. But I could definitely see them putting something in it, maybe like a, you know, something similar to like a paprika or a cardamom or some sort of pepper. Any of those things could easily turn a liquid red. So I don't have any qualms with this. I can't believe it. I didn't realize that until now. I was thinking it was blood the whole time.
In other words, the victim could not have lined up the cards as he was drowning. I see. So it was done after he was already dead. But why would the culprit do such a thing?
Also, like, you can kind of tell it's not really blood. Because, like, see how it gets really thin and translucent over here? Blood's not going to do that. That blood's going to stay this color and all the way through. So, yeah, that's definitely not blood.
I'm afraid I don't know yet.
Care to enlighten us? Maybe you know?
You boast of psychological expertise, yet you cannot determine such a simple motive. My sides are liable to split at the absurdity.
What, and I suppose you know why?
Of course, desecrating the body in that manner indicates a strong sense of enmity on the part of the perpetrator.
Yes, that does make sense. It certainly paints a clear picture of the culprit's intense feelings towards the victim.
Feelings of resentment over the theft of the soba shop's deed, no doubt.
Just great. Now the judge has an even more unfavorable impression of Bucky.
Must you come undone at every juncture? If the culprit had enough time to set up Master Tornado's body, do you think they would have honestly failed to notice the dying message?
Good point. Cards were right there in front of his body, after all. Rationally speaking, there's no way the culprit could have missed that, huh?
That means the culprit probably set them up.
Ah, but was the accused rational at the time, given the way he was stormed out of that room?
Silence.
Never mind that. I have something more important to ask, Uendo.
Me?
You saw the Karuta cards firsthand, did you not? Would you care to tell us about them in a bit more detail? Those tiny crime scene photos show us precious little of what I wish to know.
Well, those cards are from Shisho's special Soba Scenes of Tokyo Path set. Each card is related in some way to Soba.
Spare me the history lesson. Just tell me how the cards looked at the scene and no more.
Well, there was soba broth spilled all over them.
That's not much help, I'm afraid. Prosecutor Sadbody, do you have a photo that shows the cards more clearly?
I do. Please accept this meager offering, Your Honor.
That's a very long photo. They just unscrolled there. Well, I mean, we can't really deny that it can possibly say wet number 4 at this point.
Oh my, what delightful looking cards.
Well, well. Tearing Prosecutor Monk's conclusive evidence apart should be a breeze with this.
Huh?
Don't tell me you haven't noticed.
Don't be silly. Of course I have. Not noticed anything, but I can't exactly say that now, can I?
Yeah, they spell it wet number 4. See, I thought maybe like it was a little, you know, might have been a little ambiguous as to what they actually spelt, and then that picture was going to like be a big twist, but nope. That definitely says wet number 4, possibly.
Miss Sykes, do you really see a problem with the prosecution's claim about these cards?
Well then, go on.
Alright. It's do or die. All I have to do is study the picture and... These cards...
They probably could have been rearranged. A riddle? Yeah, of what? Contain a contradiction? Contradiction to what exactly? What would they be contradicting? Everyone said they spelled wet number 4. I think rearranged makes the most sense. I'm just trying to think of what that would be a rearrangement of, given that there's a number in there.
These cards were rearranged. But how can you tell? Please take a good look at these cards, Your Honor. The answer's right in front of us. Where exactly should we be looking, Miss Sykes? Let me take a look at these for a second. Oh, we don't... Then we can see them here, yeah. What were the options? Pictures on the cards, the soba broth stains. Oh, the soba broth stains, maybe. Size of the cards, I don't think that's the thing. The stains... Yeah, this one doesn't make sense. This one makes sense. This one makes sense. Yeah, these two don't make sense. NW4? Oh, het NW... oh no, this one's also wrong. Okay. Here's hoping we get to rearrange them. There's a number of them that are incorrect. Please focus your attention on the soba broth stains on these cards. The outline of these stains don't match up with the larger stain on the table. Oh, would you look at that? You're absolutely right. And, please recall that the soba broth was spilled and got on the cards after the murder, when the victim's face was placed in the bowl. Yes, go on. And in tier swap, but there was a third one there that was also swapped. By the stains, we can see that the culprit deliberately rearranged the cards after that. In other words, this message was altered in order to pin the crime of my client. What? If we put the cards back in their original positions, we can restore the evidence and see who the cards are really pointing toward. That's true. Then what are we waiting for? Let's do this. All I have to do is rearrange the cards so that the stains match up. Yay, we get to do it! I love this game so much. I would never trust the last game to do this. Alright. Oh, we can't just drag them? That would be really nice if we could, but that's okay. That's fine. This is good enough. Alright, H probably goes down here. Yeah, all of these are all messed up. But what were these, like, super specific cards doing on the table in the first place? Like, the fact that the culprit was lucky these cards were here and at all to be able to spell this out. It's probably this one. Okay, the T. Everything but the bottom here. Is that this? Yeah, I guess it has to be. It's the only place it could be. An N card, that one was the one I saw that went up here. And an O I saw went in the top left. And 4 goes down here. Oops. Owen for what? What was the last? So the message wet number 4 was originally supposed to say Owen 4th. And this original message is our clue to the identity of the true culprit. And what exactly does that mean? Do we know an Owen? I mean, a lot of these are probably stage names, so not sure, but maybe. What?
That indignant look on Prosecutor Sadmonk's face is positively priceless.
This is absurd. Order in that court. Well, I never would have imagined that there was more to these cards than meets the eye. Originally spelt out Owen 4th as shown. So now that that's settled, what does the Owen 4th mean? Wait, am I...
Who else do you suppose is to provide an explanation? Of course it's you!
But I hadn't thought that far yet.
Change the cards around all you'd like, but if you cannot explain what this message means, then it is as worthless as you are, Defense. And so the spring chicken that fancies itself a graceful swan is brought back down to earth. I love the prosecutor sad monk. You know what? I want him to come back in the next game because I just want to hear what other like dumb nicknames he gives all the characters that he interacts with. That's my favorite part about Blackwell. He has the best names for people.
Have to do something, but what?
Still your thoughts for a second. There's a perfectly good witness to question over there.
Oh, right. That's a good idea. Come on, Athena. Get a hold of yourself. Wendo, does the phrase Owen Forth mean anything to you?
No. There's no one named Owen in the Tornado family or our circle of friends. Go ahead. Ask anybody you'd like.
You can't be serious.
Having rummaged through your empty mind, I see you have, as expected, turned up nothing.
I'm afraid I have no idea who the devil this Owen Forth is either. But the fact remains that the cards were rearranged to pin the blame on Mr. Wet.
Owen Forth. When forth? When forth? Oh, when forth? Maybe we're supposed to stick like a comma or something in there somewhere.
That in itself proves that this defendant isn't the real culprit.
Oh, and forth? Ooh. Maybe. It seems a little esoteric, but perhaps. Yeah, the lingo approach.
Prosecutor Blackwell's right. Besides, the important question here is not who does this message point to, but rather, who rearranged the cards?
Because, I mean, surely whoever rearranged the cards might have maybe been relayed to the intended message.
Why did you point that out earlier if you already knew?
Sorry. In any case, there were two opportunities for someone to rearrange the cards. First was when Mr. Wet entered the dressing room. And the second was when Wendo discovered the body.
You O'Connor, you're O'Connor. Yeah, it's probably gonna be, it could be something like that too. Some sort of like mishear. Are you accusing me of rearranging the cards? Me, who came to testify of the goodness of my heart?
Well, you didn't exactly come running out screaming straight away, did you? Even a mere 2 or 3 minutes is more than enough time to get up to some devilry. So what exactly were you doing in there, Wendo? Put down the tea and spit out your answer.
Mr. Prosecutor, what's a guy supposed to do at a time like this? Silence is more precious than diamonds, witness. Therefore, you only need to stay silent. The defense is devious. They are waiting for you to make a slip of the tongue. Oh, I see. So that's why they're after, is it? Well, in that case... Your Honor, I've decided not to say another word. Very good. After all, your right to remain silent is protected by law.
Well, Prosecutor Blackwell, any other brilliant ideas you'd like to share?
Did you hear that, Sykes Dono? An Akuga artist who's afraid to speak. Who's ever heard of such a thing?
Are you trying to taunt him into talking? Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, yeah, you have the right to remain silent, but, like, in a court, when you're on the witness stand and you're being interviewed, aren't you, like, kind of obligated to answer the questions that are given to you? And you can't, like, because, like, I feel like if you could just shut up on the witness stand, that would be really easy to just, like, you know, cause all cases to go in your favor. Like, especially, imagine if you are guilty of a crime, and they ask you questions, like, related to try and figure out who's actually, like, if you are guilty or not, and you just sit there and say nothing. I mean, I guess it would come to a conclusion regardless, but the fact that you're saying nothing would probably not be helpful to you. It would be used against you. Your silence would be used against you. I don't know, maybe it's in your best interest to explain things.
Such a pity trick will never work.
So I guess, yeah, I guess now that I think about it, it's probably not illegal, but it's probably also a bad idea to do it as well. There's probably some cases where, like, the judge is like, no, you need to answer this question. Because the judge can do that. They can be like, no, you're going to answer this question. You can't just sit here and do nothing.
That's right. I'm not going to fall for it.
I'm only asking to hear your story. Besides, is it not your job to tell your tales if there's an audience to listen?
Even so, I have the right to refuse to answer.
The more you keep quiet, the more we want to talk. That's simply human nature. Isn't that right, people of the gallery?
Quite silent all of a sudden, aren't you?
Even with this wonderful audience in front of you, you still refuse to talk. If so, then perhaps you chose the wrong line of work, my friend.
Are you saying I should quit? Because I'm not afraid to speak my mind, I'll have you know. Oh no, never mind what I just said. It is scary to talk. It's absolutely terrifying. But no, as a Rakugo artist, I must talk. If I don't, how can I ever show my face on stage again? Your Honor, I'm ready to testify. He did it. He managed to convince Wendo with his power of suggestion technique.
Bully for you, Wendo. That's as real a Rakugo artist should be.
Alright, if the witness wishes to testify, then by all means, please do. To be turned by such an obvious ploy. What a man of weak spirit.
This is just mind games the trial.
After my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table, motionless.
Wow, that was really concise.
From what I can tell, there do not appear to be any inconsistencies in the testimony. Of course there aren't any, because I'm not trying to hide anything. Asuke Samari's right, I don't see anything inconsistent either. But I did pick up some faint discord in Wendo's heart. Ponder all you would like, defense, but it is pointless. Your Honor, I believe there is no need for further deliberation.
You called him? How did they not hear that? I mean, they might have, but like earlier they were saying that Shisho was like talking in his room, so everyone assumed that he was rehearsing his routine for the stage. Maybe he was really engrossed in like cooking soba and rehearsing his routine, I guess. Probably didn't hear anyone.
I disagree, Your Honor. I detect discord in the voice of the witness's heart. That's a clear indication that Wendo's facing some sort of inner turmoil. Are you saying what I think you're saying, Miss Sykes? Yes, Your Honor. The defense would like to conduct a quick therapy session on this witness. Wendo, there is no need for you to submit to this so-called therapy. It's fine by me. I have nothing to hide. Bring it on. Impetuous fool. Why will you not listen to the guidance of this humble servant of the Holy Mother?
Oh, you mean like how did they not? Oh, yeah, the two people saying in the hall, how did they not hear him call out? Yeah, you're right. I mean, they're not saying, Blackwell hasn't said that he didn't call out. I don't think, did he?
If the witness wishes to proceed, I see no problem, prosecutor.
In one ear and out the other. It seems this performer has no need for your so-called guidance. Prosecutor Sad Monk.
Just know this, Wendo. Your folly will surely earn you divine retribution. Thanks, Simon. I'm gonna make the most of this opportunity you created for me.
Just keep your wits about you.
I will. Wendo, can you tell us again about what happened in the dressing room? Why was that not mentioned? Yeah, you know what? I see what you're getting at, for sure. And maybe it's relevant. It might also just be, like, irrelevant in the sense, like, yeah, who cares if he called out or not? What really matters was, like, whether or not he entered the room. Okay, after my performance, I went to visit Shisho. I called to him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. And he's happy about that. When I entered the dressing room, I saw Shisho slumped over the table motionless. Yeah, he's sad about that, that makes sense. But he was also happy that he didn't reply. I didn't really notice any unexpected emotions in that testimony.
But it isn't always a question of the presence of an emotional response, but the absence.
You know, you're right. It's not always the emotions I do see. Sometimes it's a matter of what I don't, but would expect to see. I better carefully compare Wendo's statements to his emotions again. He didn't reply. Should that be like surprise or sad? Like this one was fear, right? I can't remember which one this was. This is supposed to be like surprise and fear? Why was there not shock on 4? Well, there was sadness on 4. Do we really need shock and sadness? I feel like this kind of covers everything given the circumstances. I mean, maybe, but that seems a little redundant. So, I mean, my initial thought was, why is he happy that he didn't reply? That to me seems weird. But I'm also down to, like, do shock here because, like, if you know he's in the room, but he's not replying, then you should be worried that something is going on. No, okay. Maybe? Yeah, no. He says Master died, but not shocked to find the body. No, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. That's a fair argument for it. Okay, we'll try shock on number 4 next. It was going to be one of those two for sure. Because, like, the lack of shock on 3 makes me he's like, because he's happy that he didn't hear anything, so he knows, he expected not to get a response, and he's glad that there was a response. Which makes me think he might be an accomplice at the very least, because he's like, good, you know, my friend did his job properly. But then, like, if that was the case, why would he be sad that he's dead? Like, do you just suddenly regret hiring a hitman to take out his master? Yeah, let's go for shock here. Yeah, it was going to be one of those two for sure. I just kind of thought that the sadness was kind of like covering everything. But it does make perfect sense for that should be there. Wendo, I'm noticing something strange with these emotions. Something thin stranger with cheesy toast skin, you say? No, something strange with these emotions. How could you have hurt some thin stranger with cheesy toast skin? Something stranger with cheesy toad skin. Eh? Kind of? I don't know. Maybe it's me who got some cheese in my ears. Can you will the floor to open up and swallow his cushions out of shame for that bad joke? The point I'm trying to make is that I noticed something unexpected in your emotions. Now, stop hiding and come out where we can see you. Bailiff, please bring the witness a few replacement cushions. God damn it. So, what was this unexpected thing you noticed? Oh, come on. His Honor said a few cushions, not a few dozen. Now that we've all had a good laugh, please continue, Miss Sykes. Who's laughing? Focus, Athena. Don't let yourself get rattled. When you entered the room and saw your master slumped motionless over the table, you weren't the least bit shocked, Wendo. Don't you think that's a little odd? Is it, though? Lack of surprise means you were prepared for what you saw. And I think I know why. The reason Wendo wasn't shaken when he saw his master's dead body is because... Wendo, I think maybe the reason you weren't shaken was because you already knew that you would find your master dead. What? What kind of thing is that to say? You've got it all wrong. Right. I just remembered something. I thought Shisha was just sleeping when I first saw him. Yes, slumped over in his noodles. If he was asleep in his bowl, then would you not be concerned for, you know, the fact that he might have drowned in the noodles? I thought he was sleeping? It sounds plausible, but... What made you think he was asleep? Well, he had his head and arms up on the table as if he were taking a nap. Oh, and one other thing. There was that note, too. A note? What note? Ah, he must be talking about this. It appears to have been written by the victim. Allow me to read it. Oh, please do read it. I mean, those words look really hard. There's like 5 of them. I can't read that. Resting. Do not disturb. Yes, that's the note I saw. After reading that, who wouldn't think Shisha was napping? That is a pretty reasonable assumption. You've got to be kidding me. No, see, I can't count and I can't read those words. The 6 words on that piece of paper. I'm very happy that he read them for us. Much appreciated. That's right. I saw this note, so that's why I thought Shisha was asleep. I want to change my testimony to include that statement. Alright, I'll run an update. Yeah, that's what I said. 3? I said 3 words. You're right. I couldn't read the 3 words on that card. After my friends went to visit Shisha, called him from outside the room, but he didn't reply. Opened the door, I thought he was sleeping. But something seemed off, so I rushed over to him. Angry? Not scared and shocked? I was shocked to find him dead. I couldn't believe my eyes. Why the fuck were you angry? Like, I feel like he should be scared and shocked on both of those. This feels wrong. Okay, well, wait. Is it gonna be this? The fact that he's angry here? Because I can't understand why that's the case. Or is it the complete lack of emotion here? Because, like, I feel like he should be shocked or something on this one. No, I guess here, no. Because he just thinks he's sleeping, so it's like, oh yeah, whatever. But anger? What? It's gotta be anger. Why would he be angry? Wendo, I noticed something funny in your emotions again. Funny, you say? I guess an entertainer of my caliber can make people laugh even with my emotions. I didn't mean that kind of funny. Quite the opposite, actually. When you entered the dressing room, I see that you suddenly felt anger. What I want to know is, what made you feel angry all of a sudden? What? Let's see. Oh yeah, now I remember. As I was going in, I whacked my little piggy on something. I was annoyed at my own clumsiness. Wait, you mean you stubbed your pinky toe? Just a little bump on my pinky. No big deal. It's embarrassing, really. Sounds more like he's hiding something. I'd better dig a bit deeper. But he'd be embarrassed, Wendo. But I'm afraid it's something we need to look into. I don't really see anything you could have stubbed your toe on. In the area around the dressing room door in this picture. But maybe there was something in there at the time? Wendo, what exactly did you stub your toe on? What an irrelevant question. No, I think it's very relevant. You know, it's. I mean, I guess it's not necessarily 100% likely. Like, I don't keep track of everything I stub my toes on, but it usually becomes pretty clear. And out of habit, I tend to figure out why I stubbed my toe at the very least. And it's easy to tell. You dishonor the soul of the victim with these unnecessary delays. You tell her. Really, who doesn't stub their toe every once in a while? You've really got to fuss over every small detail like this? Well, the thing is... Even the most subtle fluctuations in a person's psyche can clue us in on the truth. That's why it's important to get to the bottom of this question. Plus, if I back down now, who knows what new insults Simon will hurry my way. Is there really no trace of what left of what Windows stubbed his toe on by the door? Maybe the buns? What in the world might have been there, but it's not there now? Oh. Window, did you stub your toe on the table?
Wait a minute. Well, it does appear that something hit the table and moved it. Windows said he stubbed his toe as he was entering the dressing room.
Yeah, maybe he just stubbed his toe on, like, the stairs or something. Yeah, and that table looks pretty far from the door. At least they acknowledge the fact that I'm jumping the gun for once. What bumped into the table also be a clue as to what Windows stubbed his toe on?
Careless answers will only hurt us here, so think carefully before you speak again.
Right. I can't believe the game actually acknowledged you finding clues before you're supposed to. That's great. What in the world may have been there that isn't there now? What else could have been there that isn't there now? This? This pole that got knocked over, or is that part of the pan? Well, how would you have stuck... Okay, if you're entering the dressing room from, like, back here, down in this area, how the fuck do you stub your toe on the TV? How is it the TV? The TV was here and on in the opening cutscene. I was gonna say, like, the box of buns. I mean, I don't think that would really hurt, but, like, maybe. I mean, I'm probably gonna guess the... Yeah, I guess the stove. Not the stove, though. That board in front of the stove, maybe. But it needs to be something that's not... Okay, wait. We have to play spot the difference here, because... Isn't there, like, she was saying specifically something that might have no longer be there. That might not no longer be there. Do we have a picture of the place after the... cutscene? Or after the... Yeah, well, after the cutscene, the death take place? Really no trace of what... Is it this paper? Is that paper not part of this? Like, maybe it's something over here? I thought maybe that was part of this, but... Maybe it's this. Yeah, it's that. Please take a good look at the photo of this crime scene. Do you see it? This long track that goes from the door all the way across the room? Now that you mention it, I do see traces of something getting dragged. Oh, here? This... I didn't even realize that was a track. Yeah, like a track through all this, the flour on the ground. And the drag mark ends there, at the TV. This implies that the TV was originally by the door. But that doesn't make any sense, because in the opening cutscene, we saw the TV on. He was watching the TV over there. Okay, whatever.
Well, the TV... Okay, that's why I'm confused, though, because we all saw when we watched the opening cutscene on this case, that TV was on, it was behind the table, the guy was still sitting there, he was eating his noodles, and he was watching TV. That TV was on, it was plugged in, it was against the wall. At no point was it on the other end of the room. So how the fuck did that happen? In the 30 seconds between that cutscene and him dying. Yeah, it moved it forward in like 3 seconds. How did he do that? It moved it where though? Like he moved it back and then forward and then like he would have had to, okay, he would have had to move it back towards the door, go and stub his toe, and then move it back to the wall where it was before. Because there's no reason for that TV to move. It doesn't make any sense for that TV to move. Go watch the opening cutscene again. You'll see that it shows the TV was plugged in. Could have been turned off then. I mean, you're right. You know what? Okay. That's actually fair, Duck. They might have lied for the sake of the mystery. But at the same time, that isn't something they normally do in those cutscenes. If anything, they do the opposite of lying and they give too much information. I'm convinced that this TV is the object the witness stubbed his toe on. Well, Uendo, how about it? But you know what? That's fine. I will accept that. The cutscene might have lied. I can totally... I'll go with that. Yes, you're right. It was the TV. Oh, we still have more? There. Noise level dropped again. Yes, I stubbed my pinky toe in the TV. But what of it? Why is this so important to you? So the noise went down, but hasn't completely disappeared yet. Which means he's still hiding something. Okay, let's try this tactic instead. What if the TV is the murder weapon? Well, no, you know what could be? He used the cable from the TV to strangle. That's how he suffocated. He was strangled by TV power cord. It's not lies. He had it on. Program was done. Then kill happened. Why can't there be a gap between TV off and kill? Because how was the TV plugged in on the other side of the room in front of the door? And how is he facing towards the fridge and watching TV at the same time? It was. I'm gonna go watch the cutscene again. I'm looking at the VOD right now. Maybe I am wrong. But I'm pretty certain that wasn't the case. Yep, right here. Right here. Look at that. There's the fridge. There, you can't see my mouse. You can't see my mouse cursor. No, you can't see my cursor. There's the fridge. There's the TV plugged in. There's him being alive. The guy hasn't entered yet to kill him. So explain how he would have stubbed his toe when the TV is over here. I know it's not plugged in the picture, but you also in here in this, the whole reason we got to this point was because we pointed out apparently this drag mark. The TV was dragged all the way over here. So what is this timeline of events? I'm hoping this is explained somewhere because this doesn't make any sense to me. Yeah, it's not plugged in. So like, all right, you know what I'm thinking happened? This is what I'm thinking happened. He came in, TV was on, he goes over there, he gets the TV, he brings it over, he strangles him with the power cord, and then he shoves the TV back. That's what I think happened. Why was the TV moved there? Shisha must have moved it so he could watch my routine. What a place to put it. Right in the middle of the doorway like that. But we all know he wasn't facing that direction, so that's a lie. I didn't want to bump into it again, so I put it back where it belonged. Performances on stage can be viewed in the dressing room using that TV. That's right. It's a closed-circuit monitor that shows the stage. That TV was moved like 3 times. I see. Now what? I can't find anything else out of place. I still haven't gotten the noise level down to 0 yet. Simon, I'm still getting noise here, but I don't see anything else fishy.
This is precisely why amateurs are such a bother.
1 second. I'm gonna put this back. That TV's really weird. We got a case of the magic moving television here. Maybe not magic, but we're definitely gonna need an explanation. Sorry.
I'm in no mood to play nursemaid here, but if that's what it takes to save the soba shop. Oi! Wendo! Here's a curiosity for you. This table Master Tornado is slumped over looks like it was moved. Did you happen to bump into it while you were moving the TV back?
Oh my! Yes, you're right. The TV hit the table and Shisha's body moved with a jolt.
That's when I first realized that Shisha was dead.
Oh, but how scared I was!
I see. Thank you.
Are you telling me this man couldn't lift that TV up? This guy's like, what, how old was he? 28, I think? Where is he? Yeah, 28. And you're telling me he can't lift a TV like that? I was carrying TVs like that when I was like 15. How weak is this guy?
Finally getting a more precise picture of how the body was discovered. I'd wager you need to put the spurs on Uendo just a trifle longer.
Right. I know it's a CRT. I was lifting those things when I was 15 years old. Those kind of TVs, they have handles right on the back underneath the top. And even if they don't, it's not that hard to lift them. But usually those kind of TVs, they would have like handheld holds in the back so you could lift it. You could leverage it a lot easier. CRTs are heavy, but they're not, like, ones of that size are easily liftable by a single person. I'd say it's no different than maybe lifting, I don't know, what's like another object these days that people might be carrying around. It's probably no heavier than like the bare minimum you need to be able to lift to like work at a grocery store when you're like 14. They're heavy, but they're not like fucking made of lead. You could totally carry that by yourself. I lug those TVs around all the time. Can't keep asking someone to bail me out like this. He's a twig, he couldn't lift that shit. Dude, that man is bigger than me. Like, I was fucking skinny as shit. People were concerned I wasn't eating right. That's how skinny I was. You can still see ribs on me if you looked at my chest. I guarantee that man should have been able to lift that TV. I sit on my ass all day. Just like him. And I could still lift that TV. I'm calling them out. Wendo, when you said just now about discovering your master's death, could you please describe all of that again for the court in detail? All right. But before you do, let me just plug in the latest information. Alright, went to visit, got no response. Thought he was asleep in his noodles. Big old TV just sitting there in front of the door. Why? I don't know. Seems a little sus if you ask me. Okay, you know what? If it was there the moment that he got into the room, then no, he definitely didn't kill him. This guy's innocent. I guarantee this is the murder weapon. Fucking hell, look how weak he is. That shit's tiny. Dude, the TV I'm talking about that I lifted everywhere was twice the size of that. I've never worked out a day in my life. I put the TV back and it's almost fine. I realized that Shisha was dead. Yeah, okay, good. That's the right reaction there. Seen him slumped over that cluttered table. Okay.
Not really seeing any emotions I consider out of place. How about you, Simon?
How many times are you going to come running to me?
No, I was just looking for a second opinion.
Well, take another good look at the flow of emotions. Don't just look for simple inconsistencies. Look at the intensity of his emotions, too.
Oh yeah, that's right, that's the thing. I did kind of forget about that. Okay. Okay, well, he seems pretty equally... Should he be angrier? I mean, if I stubbed my toe on a TV like that, I would be fucking livid. I feel like that's incorrect. That one's fine. That seems... alright. Wait, no, he's more shocked than sad. Hang on. Why is he so shocked and not sad? I forgot about the last one. The TV's there because whoever killed him used the cord as the murder weapon. Now, that might be a little flimsy because cables on TVs like that size are pretty short usually. Like, we're talking like 2 feet at best. They're terrible. Horribly short. But I'm going to let that slide and say that's quite plausible that the murder weapon is the cable of that TV. Seems a little elaborate to be using the television cable. Like, you couldn't find anything else to strangle a guy? It's like, I know, I'll go grab the TV over there. Just give me like 5 minutes to lug it over. Because I bet the murderer's also weak as shit and couldn't lift that thing up. That's odd. After the initial shock of finding the victim dead, you reacted with surprise again. What was it surprised you, Endo, besides your master's death? What do you mean? What's more, you were even more surprised the second time than the first. What could have surprised you more than finding your late master?
Search me? Your little thingy must have made a mistake.
Silence.
The girl is as sharp as a trout, to be sure. But her ability to hear people's emotions is absolute. Now, get to remember, Innuendo. What was it that surprised you?
That was a compliment, right?
Well,
Wow! Went back up to full!
No, we've pushed him too hard and now he's mentally all over the place. His emotions are completely out of control.
Out of control? Could explain how that's relevant.
You know how normally I listen for the hidden emotions in a witness's voice, right? From there I look for inconsistencies between their testimony and those emotions. But sometimes a person's feelings can run too high, making it hard to get proper readings.
So that's how your Matrix program works. Fascinating.
Wow, he was actually, like, intrigued by it. Like, he seemed authentically intrigued for once.
Ordinarily, it's just one emotion that runs out of control. It seems there's nothing ordinary about it this time.
I can't remember what we do for this. I forgot this was even, like, a mechanic. We haven't seen this since the last game. I think we only had it, like, what, once the last game? No, I think we had it twice last game because of DLC.
I knew it.
What's got your knickers all in a bunch now?
When does multiple emotions running out of control at the same time? I've never seen anything like this. Ever.
So how does one bring a situation like this back under control?
I'll have to find the root cause of this tangled mess before I can treat him. If I can identify what is causing this emotional rampage, then I can probe to dive in further. I need to pinpoint what I think is the root cause and hit probe again. Through this process, I can identify exactly what's causing Windows so much distress.
And that will help bring his emotions back under control? In that case, let's get started, shall we?
Yeah, it was in the last case of the last game, but I thought it was also in the DLC of the last game, too. I thought there was two cases where it happened.
Alright, I can't guarantee success, but it's definitely worth a shot. Time to look for the root cause of Windows' rampaging emotions.
Okay. I don't think he's angry here. I thought we already went over a lot of these. Yeah, you know what? It's probably the TV. I mean, let's be real here. This man opened the door. This thing is right there. He had no reason to not to see it. He probably went full blast straight into the TV. That would hurt. It's probably not it. Come on, that's gotta be it. That would hurt like shit. How is that not it? That would have been so funny if it actually was the TV, though. Like, all this message just because he stubbed his toe on a TV. I realized that Shisha was dead. Is there something here? Window, Karuta cards. I bet it's the cards. He saw something in the cards. Whatever that original message was, Owen 4th. I get it now. The cards were the root of it all. Don't try to deny it. You can't hide your feelings from me. That message that was left at the scene of the crime is what was causing your distress. And if the dying message was the cause of all those feelings, then that means the phrase Owen 4th must mean something to you. Do you think his name had some sort of like pun to do with like iguanas or lizards or something in Japanese? Because he sure as hell looks like one right now. There, noise level 0. Finally.
The dying message consists of 2 words, Owen and 4th. But neither of those 2 words have anything to do with this witness. This topic warrants no further argument.
Sure, there may not seem to be any direct connection between Uendo and the message. For now. Why don't you wait and decide what's necessary after you hear my theory?
I trust you've hit upon something, Athena.
Yep. If my theory is correct, we can finally solve the case of Uendo and the mysterious Owen 4th.
Well, go on then.
I can already tell this promises to be interesting. And now, please share your theory with the court, Miss Sykes. There was something puzzling to me just now about Uendo's out-of-control emotions just now. Namely that there were 3 distinct reactions present. I'd never seen that before, and I wondered how it could be possible.
Is there a conclusion to this meandering musing of yours?
Hold your horses, I'm getting there. So, could a person flip between 3 distinct emotions of such intensity like a switch? In the end, I concluded that it just wasn't possible.
So that's it, is it? A bit unconventional, but I'll grant that it's possible within the realm of psychology.
Within the realm of psychology? I'm afraid you'll have to explain it for the old man up here on the bench. Your Honor, my theory is that Uendo is a robot. Oh, imagine we did that again. Wait, what if this was true? That would be pretty great too. This is why he's such a good actor. It's a very useful disorder to have for a job like this. So many distinct personas, it's clear to me that Uendo has the dissociative identity disorder. What does that even mean?
Your Honor, the defense would treat this trial as a child's jest. Multiple personality disorder? A preposterous proposition indeed. Would you not agree, witness?
How did she know? How did she figure it out? Can't believe it.
I did it. I did it, Simon. I've read papers on it before, but to think I'd see a case of it for myself.
Blimey. Rakugo artists tell stories as different characters, but as different personalities?
Hey, you, lawyer girl. You got a problem with us, huh? No problem at all. This is all very hard to believe, but now that we've established that the witness has multiple personalities, could each of them please introduce themselves to this court?
Oh, this should get interesting.
Window Tornado. I'm a Rakugo storyteller, as you know. Hello, buddy. Patches, the friendly jester here. Kisagawa. Courtesan. And is that all of you? Yes, that's all of us. So there are 3 personalities in total. Wendo, Patches, and Kisagawa, huh? Well, son, what do you think now?
That's your one lucky duck. Just be glad they were dense enough to help you out.
Can't you just straight up say I did great for a change? You appear to be quite proud of your self-defense. The fuck is a courtesan? Like it's hard to explain. It's like it's not really like a rich person, just like, I mean, I think traditionally it's like someone who's in like the royal court as per the name, but let me see if I can find a good explanation of it. It's a real thing. It's just like I don't know, snob isn't really a good word for it, but probably doesn't really. Yeah. They're very basically a snobby prostitute. Yeah. That's basically it. They're just a really rich, pompous prostitute. All you have done is infringe upon the privacy of the witness. Which tells me that like after every like performance, he probably goes in the back and he probably has a few people knocking on his door, if you know what I mean. Couldn't disagree more, prosecutor. Now that we know there are 3 personalities, a new way for us to interpret the meaning of a certain piece of evidence has arisen. New interpretation? Ooh, now I'm very curious. What is this piece of evidence you're talking about, Miss Sykes? Knowing what we know about Wendo and his personalities, this now makes perfect sense. The Garuta cards? That's right, Your Honor. Recall the original dying message left at the scene. We didn't have a clue as to what Owen Forth could have possibly meant. But now, with this new information about Wendo and his personalities, is it possible that Owen Forth actually means a secret 4th personality of Wendo's? A personality named Owen? Who is this guy, like fucking Moon Knight? Wendo must have kept his dissociative identity disorder from us because he didn't want to be associated in any way with that dying message. No, that's not why. We kept our disorder a secret for a different reason altogether. We've been taking advantage of our affliction to act on various Rakugo characters. If word got out, well... our reputation as a Rakugo artist would be tarnished, as would the Tornado name. That's why we kept it a secret from everyone except members of the Tornado school. But really, there is no 4th personality, it's just the 3 of us in here. Then why keep it a secret?
Plausible enough sounding story. But it doesn't prove you didn't rearrange the cards, does it?
But... I will concede that it is highly likely that the witness rearranged the cards. Is Prosecutor Satmari actually agreeing with us? However, it is not also possible that the accused killed Master Tornado. And then left that message in order to frame the witness. And upon noticing the cards when he found the victim's body, Wendo rearranged them.
Fantastic tale, but a tale nonetheless. No one outside the Tornado School knew about Uendo's multiple personalities. Uendo just finished saying so himself.
Ah, that is true, but ultimately meaningless point. The witness was only in the dressing room for 2 to 3 minutes. That's far too little time to commit murder, wouldn't you say?
And who's to say he couldn't have done it before his discovery?
Ah, that spring chick memory of yours. Have you already forgotten Prosecutor Blackwell's testimony?
Simon's testimony? Oh.
Gedo escorted me to the dressing room, but we heard the sound of Rakugo being performed from within. Thinking the master was rehearsing, we decided to wait in the hall until he was done.
She did forget. That's right. Until just a few moments before Uendo entered the dressing room, Typhoid Tornado was confirmed to still be alive. Not only that, but Uendo was on stage until just before he discovered the body. A bulletproof alibi that I have already confirmed with several audience members.
Oh no.
I also heard that his Rakugo performance that day was a steaming pile of... Well, you get the picture.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Really stunk up the stage I did.
But did you take like a literal shit on stage? Was that the joke? And yet I have a perfect alibi. Indeed. Why not land a coup de grace on the defense by describing your alibi, witness?
Okie dokie smoky.
I was on stage until just moments before I went into the dressing room. The entire audience was my witness. But my performance was a huge bust. Not a single soul left. I'll never be able to live down how terribly I bombed during that very important show. Wendell was on stage before he found the body, so he could not have committed this crime. It is time to let it all go, defense, and move on.
Get this, Prosecutor Satmati. The Write Anything Agency never gives up. We fight to the bitter end.
Allow me to say this once more. Let it go and move on.
Allow me to say this once more. I'm never giving up.
Maybe he didn't do enough puns. Like, Rakugo's supposed to be full of puns. He probably didn't have enough. They were disappointed. If you can count the puns on one hand, then you didn't do enough. This is pointless. You should have taken advantage of this opportunity while you could, you foolish child. Your worthless convictions only serve to prolong the accused's suffering. If words will not sway you, then perhaps pain will. Oh, she's getting choked. What if he did it? What's the chances that he just snuck in the back? Maybe he was in the audience too, as part of his like research. He went and saw a play, and then he just like choked the guy. It would make zero sense. It would make negative sense. But what if he did?
What's the big idea, Prosecutor Satmati?
That was but a small dose of punishment for your misguided convictions. Are you now a bit more inclined to give up as instructed?
As if.
In that case, you must require another dose.
Damn! Not bloody likely.
Goodbye, beads.
I don't give two flips about your belief. But if Sykes don't know where to submit to you here, I would not be able to eat good soba anymore.
That's right. For Mr. Wet's future and Prosecutor Blackwell's stomach. I will never give up.
You will rue those words, defense, of that I can assure you. I think maybe the clown did it. Although we still haven't heard testimony from our client. I guess he's still out of it. We probably won't get to hear his testimony until next week.
How can we be sure it was you who was on that stage?
Are you asking whether it could have been some imposter?
I guess so.
Unlike a big arena, Rakugo Theater's a cozy little place. It would be hard to fool an audience in such an intimate setting, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Good. I'm glad we could clear that up. Because I guess you could say... the Hussey's too good to not be jailed?
No, I mean, I think the clown could probably have done it. But you know how Phoenix Wright likes to, you know, make a last-minute introduction to a character, right? I know we haven't had we don't get an investigation scene in this case, but still possible there's another witness that we don't know about yet. I don't think this guy could have done it. Because I really think the TV is the murder weapon here, because, like, why else was the TV in front of the door behind him? Behind the guy sitting down. So, whoever killed would have had to have moved that TV over there. So, I don't know, I'm thinking it's the clown, because assuming we don't get, like, another person, this guy is definitely innocent. I agree with the prosecution here. There's no way this guy could have done it. I can't see how. So, it's got to be the clown. It's the only way.
Is there anything special about the stage or your performance that you can tell me? For example, were the lights dimmer than usual? Were there any problems or accidents?
Not a thing. Everything was the same as always. Mr. Prosecutor, you questioned the audience, didn't you? Yes, of course. Apparently, nothing seemed amiss to them except, well, one small thing.
One small thing?
Oh, it's so embarrassing. I tried my best, really. I did.
I think bombing your performance is a little more than one small thing.
Do you have any idea what went wrong?
I'm not sure if it was my performance or if it was just that particular audience. Or maybe it was the story I picked. But every entertainer knows that this kind of thing happens from time to time.
I guess that makes sense. Still, I wonder how he could have flopped at his own commemorative show. Maybe I should dig into things a bit more. Could you tell me which Rakugo story you performed?
I could, but I'm not sure it would mean anything to the uninitiated.
Well, even if I might not get it, can't you at least try me?
Alright, if you insist. The story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba.
Time Soba, huh? Maybe Wendo's right. He's only said the name of the routine and I'm already lost.
Ah, so you performed Time Soba, didn't you?
What? You know it, Prosecutor Satmati?
Yeah, you probably read about it on the Wikipedia article. He spouted off earlier.
In the course of my studies last night, I became familiar with a number of stories. I must say, Defense, you would do well to prepare better for your next trial.
Simon, what's Time Soba about?
Look it up yourself. Allow me to give an overview. The story takes place on a winter's night. A man orders a bowl of soba at a street stall. How you doing, sir? What can I get you? I see you've got sweet top hanamaki soba and mixed topping shippoku soba. I'll have a bowl of shippoku, my good man. It sure is cold tonight, isn't it? But there's nothing like a hot bowl of noodles and soup to warm the soul. You know it, sir. One shippoku coming right up. So how's business? Not great, sir. Is that so? Well, that's great, because things can only get better from here, right? Wow, Prosecutor! The customer talks on and on like this. Finally, when he is done eating, he goes to pay for his soba. So how much do I owe you? That'll be 16 mon, sir. I see. Sorry, but I only have small change on me. I'll count the coins in your palm, so could you hold out your hand for me? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... Hey, what time is it? It's 9, sir. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Thanks, and bye. Very well done, Prosecutor Satmati. That was excellent.
Huh? I don't get it. What was so funny about that?
I mean, he shorted him 1 coin. I don't think that's very funny. That's just a little cheeky. That's definitely not laugh out loud funny. He only skipped 1 number.
Don't you see? The customer paid with coins, counting them 1 by 1. Then, just after counting 8, he asked about the time. And the soba vendor answered with 9.
Oh, now I get it. He made the vendor say 9, and then he continued counting from 10.
Exactly. He cheated the soba vendor out of 1 mon with his smooth talking. The story continues with another man who saw the whole thing and tries to do the same. But he bungles the trick and ends up paying more than 16 mon for his soba. The story ends on that as the punchline. You can look up the rest of the details yourself. Or I'm sure Prosecutor Sadmonk over there would love to perform it for you after court.
I mean, it does suck, but like in this case, I think the joke doesn't really work in the first place because it's just 1. Like, to me, the joke, there's not really much of a joke. It's like, okay, first guy, you know, gets away with like swindling him for 1 coin. Second guy tries it and ends up paying more. That alone as a premise doesn't sound very funny to me. It's certainly no Monty Python, that's for sure. So basically, it's a story about a man cheating on his soba bill. That's kind of petty, isn't it? Yeah, I agree. Nothing really entertaining there.
Is that really all you have to say about this classic story? Time soba is such a well-known staple of Rakugo that the skilled artist is critical in... Fine. So you studied a lot. We haven't the time for a lecture detour right now, Professor Prosecutor Sadmonk.
Oh, I wanted to hear a little more, but I suppose it is off topic. Getting back to the matter at hand, Miss Sykes, the witness stated that the story I performed is called Toki Soba, otherwise known as Time Soba. Would you like to add this statement to the testimony?
Should I add this statement to the testimony? Yes. There might be something there, if I remember correctly. I'll have to check the evidence in a bit, though. Okay, but who's on first? See, that works better. See, you need more puns. That's what I'm saying. He didn't have enough puns. You gotta put more puns in it. Why do you think who's on first is so funny? It's like 99% puns. Check the other one just in case. Yeah, I guess we could do that. Alright. Let's see where this goes first. I'll press this first, and then we'll go and check the other one, but I'm pretty sure this is it, because I think there's definitely something related to this earlier.
Story where a man cheats on a soba bill, right? Why do you think it didn't go over very well?
Well, I suppose it was I was a little nervous. It's a lot of pressure when you're the star of such an important show, you know.
You? Nervous? I thought you'd be all calm and collected, but I guess even you can get stage fright, huh?
I wanted so badly to liven up the great name of Uendo that I inherited, that I guess I overperformed a little this time.
Wait, Uendo was the stage name of a former member of the Tornado School, right?
That's right. The name belonged to one of Shisho's former disciples who died of illness at a young age.
With the weight of a new name like that to carry on your shoulders, I can see why you're feeling the heat. Just like me. I'm carrying the weight of my entire agency on my shoulders right now.
I thought that was the last case.
In any case, I can count on your sympathy, and have you go a little easier on me?
With the audience as his witness, Uendo has a pretty unshakable alibi, doesn't he?
You're not giving up, are you? Where's that never-say-die spirit you displayed earlier?
Of course I'm not giving up, Simon. I just know Uendo has something to do with this case.
How will you connect him to the crime when he has an alibi as strong as that?
I don't know just yet, but I'm gonna press his testimony and keep an eye out for contradictions.
Okay, we're gonna press this one again. Oh, we never did this one. I think I skipped over this one.
Excuse me for asking, but do you bomb like that on a regular basis?
Well, aren't you a regular rude daisy? Do you really think a Rakugo artist
who regularly bombs would get promoted. In fact, I'm known as the Tornado School's whirlwind of laughter, I'll have you know. Yeah, see, it's supposed to be wind, but it also does work as innuendo. Is that really true, Simon?
That nickname is a bit of a travesty if you ask me, but his Rakugo is solid and well received, yes.
I see. But yeah, Whirlwindo of Laughter is a big stink bomb of a name, isn't it? What a relief. I thought it was just me. Is that supposed to be an insult? That doesn't sound like it's supposed to be an insult. I mean, Whirlwindo of Laughter is great. Funny stuff. I'm glad you like it. Which one was the one that gave me the thing? Was it 3? Oh, thank you. Okay, it was 3. Alright, let's just see what the other one looks like. But I'm pretty sure that the one we have right now is the right one. We're gonna have to go through all... Okay, good. We get the short version. Number of audience members. How many people were there in the audience when you were on stage?
Well, let's see. We drew a full house, so I think there must have been 50, maybe 60 people in the audience.
That's quite a lot, isn't it?
Exactly. I dropped a big stinky bomb in front of all those people. It was a catastrophe, I tell you. I was sweating buckets from start to finish.
Sounds exactly like how Apollo performs in court sometimes. I see. Thank you. As for that statement, Your Honor, I'd like to... Your Honor, can I please have that last statement added to Endo's testimony?
Very well.
Maybe that one's relevant too. I don't think we have anything mentioning audience members though, but I'll check. So there are about 50 to 60 people at the theater listening to Rakugo, and not one of them laughed?
That's right. Everyone was just staring in silence at me. It was simply awful.
Yikes. That does sound awful. But with an audience of that size, is it even possible for not even one person to laugh?
What are you trying to say?
I'm saying, are you sure there are even people in the audience? Oh, don't tell me this guy has schizophrenia as well. After all, no one would be laughing if there was no one there to begin with.
Of course there were people in the audience. There's a full house, I tell you. Lots of regulars. Want me to ask them all to come here?
This is Sodium's sort of identity disorder and schizophrenia. This guy's a wreck. No, that's alright.
Don't just press him on every statement at random. You have to put some thought into it. Use your head, Athena.
Simon's right. I have to be more careful with the testimony I draw out. Okay, let's see if we have something for this audience here. Alright, must have been 50 to 60 people in the audience. Is there a reason? Yeah, here we go. Inside the envelope was a ticket to the show and a letter from the victim. The letter contained a simple greeting and rundown of the show's program. Gato was to perform her balloon act, then Wendo was to do his soba glutton routine, and finally Master Tornado was to perform time. So, no, okay. It's the other one. There probably were people in the audience. Although that would have been one hell of an extra twist there if it turns out this man had other issues. We want this one. That way we can match the evidence. Oh, this is what leads to... Fuck, we have to go through his whole routine again.
Objection.
Oh, yeah, Blackwell's scolding you is probably the hint. Yeah, I agree. It's probably supposed to be the hint that it's not that one. Although, that would be really good. I kind of wish it was that one, because, like, imagine where the case would go if there actually just wasn't anyone in the audience.
And we really were going there. Athena's like, wow, I can't believe I saw not only someone with, like, DID, but also schizophrenia today. I've only read about this in books. And then she just gets really excited because this guy's like a fucking wreck.
Window, isn't there something odd about the routine you performed?
Odd? No, I don't think there's anything odd about it.
That's exactly what I find odd. The fact that you didn't think it's odd.
Wait. No, maybe not schizophrenia. What if this guy's dyslexia and he didn't read his routine correctly? He misread what his routine was in the program.
We are discussing the witness's alibi at the moment, defense. The show's program is completely irrelevant.
That's where you're wrong, Prosecutor Sadmati. Reason being it contradicts the statement the witness just made. Window, do you know what this is?
No, what is it?
This is an invitation to the show, sent from Master Tornado to Prosecutor Blackquill. Included in the invitation is a rundown of the show's program, which clearly states that Time Soba was to be performed by Master Tornado himself. Window, why did you perform the routine your master was scheduled to?
Well, you see, the reason for that is...
How do I say this? You see, let's say it was a prank. That's right. It was just a little joke, you see. I was trying to surprise Shiso by performing his routine before he did. I don't know if I buy that. Was doing the victim's routine really just for laughs, or... Hey, didn't Simon happen to hear Time Soba coming from the dressing room? During Arendo's performance on stage? Seems like too much of a coincidence. Wait, can it be?
What's the matter? You look like a hen with a dozen eggs to lay.
Stop comparing me to birds.
Then cease this bird-brain timidity. Something has occurred to you, then laid out for us already. Don't breed resentment in those watching your performance.
Okay. I don't have a ton of confidence in this theory, but here goes. It looks like Window's alibi checks out, Your Honor, but even though he was on stage at the time, he may have been trying to obfuscate his crucial detail about this case.
Are you referring to the Soba bill the man tried to skimp on in the witness's story?
I'm not talking about the Rakugo story, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, but then what are you talking about, Miss Sykes?
What a Window may have been trying to deceive us about was...
what the victim was to perform. Right? Because, like, he was saying that he was going to do time... He did Time Soba, but the victim was supposed to do Time Soba. Or, wait. Is the reason that they heard Time Soba from coming from within is because the TV was on? And the victim was already out there doing it? It could be the time of death then. Because yeah, he was supposed to do Soba Glen, Master Tane was to perform his Time Soba routine. I'm just trying to think how that would work. That could be it. Not the cause of the death. We have no horse in that race yet. What the victim was to perform, I don't think... No, because like if he was trying to deceive us in that, he wouldn't be like passing it off as a joke that he did it.
Widow tried to deceive us about the time of the victim's death. What?
What gibberish. Prosecutor Blackwell even testified to the time of the victim's death.
I know, but he only testified that way because he and Geiru had been completely taken in.
You mean by the Soba bill thing?
Would you please forget about the story for a second, Your Honor?
I was deceived?
Pray tell, how did the Wendo manage to deceive two people while he was performing on stage?
That's easy. All you had to do was use a certain prop in the dressing room. Oh, and what might that be? Prop Wendo used was...
Okay, wait. How Wendo managed to deceive two people while he was performing on stage? All you had to do is use a certain prop. It's the TV, right? It had to be the TV. The TV was at the front door. That way it could be heard outside the room. That's why it was there.
This TV was used to view what was happening on stage. Prosecutor Blackwell, when you came to the dressing room, what was the Wendo doing?
He was performing time soba. Blast. Could it be?
Yes, it could, and it was. What you and Gato heard was not Master Tornado practicing his routine. It was Wendo's performance, as heard through the TV monitor speakers.
So he might have already been dead by that point then.
With the TV just inside the inner door of the dressing room, it could easily be heard from the hallway outside.
Because we knew that Master Tornado was scheduled to perform time soba, we were easily manipulated into thinking he was still alive at the time rehearsing.
Shit, even I was manipulated into thinking this guy was innocent.
Yes, your knowledge of the day's program is why the two of you could be fooled this way. Simon, did the voice you hear belong to Master Tornado?
With the doors in the way, I couldn't tell exactly who the voice belonged to. But because I heard time soba, I just assumed it was Master Tornado. I can't believe I was taken in by such a simple mind game.
Couldn't tell the difference between their voices. I mean, when it's coming from a TV, and it's maybe not the highest quality of video, and it's being muffled by a door, I could see it being possible. It's you know what? I'll give them the plausibility on this one, the benefit of the doubt. Sure, I think it's very possible, because even I would probably get fucked up. I would mess up and get confused. I'm terrible at telling people apart.
All of that is mere conjecture. Where is your proof, defense?
Wendo moved the TV back when he discovered the body. After all, he couldn't very well leave it by the door, because then someone might figure out the trick he'd been playing. And there's one more thing about Wendo's actions that's suspicious. And that is, the fact that he flopped so badly on such an important occasion. What's so suspicious about that? Even pros slip up once in a while, you know? But I believe this time it was intentional. Because Wendo knew it would be strange to hear laughter coming from the dressing room. Oh my,
So in a way, the audience count was important. A little bit indirect, but still.
it's all just a bit too perfect to be sheer coincidence. Plus, if the voice Prosecutor Blackwell and Gadu heard was due to Wendo's scheming, then the victim's time of death could have been earlier than 4 p.m. In other words, Wendo could have killed Master Tornado himself.
So what you're saying is, we're not gonna see the clown again?
We've got you by the stones now, Wendo, so you better confess everything.
Well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? We demand an explanation. Wendo!
Really exercising that right to remain silent.
I confess. I tampered with the crime scene.
Wait, but you're not confessing to killing?
Is the defense's claim that Wendo Tornado is the true murderer in this case?
If he tampered with the crime scene, then we have to at least consider him a suspect.
Now wait just 1 minute. Yes, I admit to messing with the dressing room, but I didn't kill Shisho.
Then why did you tamper with the crime scene?
I refuse to answer that question.
Wait. Yeah, Kisegawa. Notice how the name changed there? Yeah, Kisegawa doesn't admit to killing him. But who's to say one of his other personalities didn't kill him? I bet it was the fucking whatever his name was, Pocky or whatever, the jester one. He probably did it.
You suspect this witness, and I have a question for you.
What could it be this time?
When there was absolutely no reason to murder Typhoon Tornado.
Yeah, Patches. I bet it was him. He probably did it.
After all, why would Wendo kill the man who recognized his skills and promoted him?
Oh, well, his motive was, can't think of a single thing.
It appears you are also not aware of one other fact.
And that is...
That the accused visited the dressing room before 4 p.m. as well. Is it not natural, then, to suppose that the accused killed the victim at that time?
Well, maybe they were both in on it. Maybe they both did it. He would have at least been an accomplice. Kisagawa, Wendo, Patches, whoever else. Owen.
What? Nobody told me Mr. Wet had also gone there before 4 p.m.
We were only discussing the time frame after 4 p.m., so I didn't think to mention it. But now that you have made the time period before 4 p.m. relevant...
Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going.
So, you really do not know what your client was doing during that time frame, do you?
Well, it was all very sudden, and, why did you wait until the very last second to contact me, Simon?
Don't you give me that look. And just so you know, Bucky never told me he had visited the Master before 4 p.m. either.
This sort of thing is exactly why that prosecutor keeps calling us unprepared.
Defense will stop squabbling this instant.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Prosecutor Satmari, please continue.
Thank you, Your Honor. Defense, you know of the soba-making implements in the dressing room, correct?
Is he talking about the equipment for making soba noodles?
You speak of the large bowl that is used to mix buckwheat flour and water. The long rolling pin and the special knife that is used to cut the dough into noodles. Precisely. These tools all came from the accused's soba shop.
You mean they didn't belong to Master Tornado?
Mr. Wet had visited the dressing room to give the victim a soba-making lesson. And that visit was before 4 p.m. I'm afraid that after the accused kneaded the dough and made those noodles. He committed the act of murder.
And why would he do a thing like that? That's not very nice.
But wait, that doesn't add up. If Mr. Wet killed the victim before 4 p.m., how would he return to that room at a later time?
Don't you know the perpetrators always return to the scene of the crime? That's like Detective 101. He's a skateboard!
Wet soba! You're kid and caboodle when it comes to noodles.
Oh my.
Hiya, Ms. Chickadee. Hey, Simey. The reason I went back is because Master Tornado ordered uncooked noodles.
Mr. Wet...
Horrible to see him again? What do you mean horrible? He's bringing food! You just said you're hungry. Look at all those delicious soba noodles he has on him right now. I mean, fuck, I just had some, like, potato soup. I want this. Now I want noodles.
Yesterday, I brought noodle-making tools to the dressing room around 2 p.m. That's when Master Tornado ordered uncooked soba noodles to stock up on.
Uncooked noodles to stock up on?
Yes, ma'am. Master Tornado kept a supply of soba noodles from my shop in his fridge.
Then why was his fridge empty? Are you telling me the perpetrator stole those noodles? We have a noodle thief on our hands?
He only had one serving left, so I went back to my shop to get some more.
I'm serving the noodles in the fridge, but I thought the fridge was practically empty. Anyway, Whereabouts of the missing noodles isn't all that important right now.
You ran into me and Geru when you came back to deliver the uncooked soba, correct?
He needs to stop being drunk. Yeah, you know what? He probably drank something again. That's where he was this whole time. I don't think he was in the infirmary. No way you would stay drunk this long. Unless this man, like, is the worst liquor holder ever.
That's right, Simey. I made the time out of my busy day to deliver him the noodles. And you know what? He ignored me when I called him from the inner doorway. He just kept mumbling Drakugo lines for ages. So I got mad and went back to my soba shop.
Oh, so that's why you got mad. What he's saying is true, then there's no way he could be the murderer.
I swear I'm telling the truth, Miss Chicken.
He's on his skateboard. Bailiff, quick, get this man to the infirmary. Again. It's all played by the game's dev to make you want soba. Yeah, see, Capcom secretly owns a chain of soba shops in Japan. This is all just a big marketing ploy to bring attention to their soba chain, obviously. Well, I dare say he's quite the handful.
Your Honor, please accept the statements Mr. Wet made just now into evidence.
I believe the accused's statements about going to the room around 2 p.m. is true. Or it falls within the victim's estimated time of death.
That opens up the possibility that the crime was committed between 2 and 4 p.m. That's some critical information.
Yes, Your Honor. But other than that one point, Mr. Wet's statements are dubious and without proof.
But they're the words of the defendant himself. Simon, back me up here.
He has a point. If I were the prosecutor, I wouldn't accept them either.
Well, I understand the defense's feelings on the matter. This court is unable to accept anything other than the time the defendant made his visit.
Now what do I do?
Soba be made hot? Yeah, soba can be made hot or cold. There's both cold and hot soba. I think the process for the noodle making's a little different. And I believe cold soba is the more traditional one. I could be wrong about that, though. But there are both. Because, like, soba is just the type of noodle, right? So you could totally cook them if you want, but they're definitely designed to also be cold. Like, I think they're... I don't think they're, like, cooked when they're cold, but they're also not, like, just, you know, rolled and then cut and then put in a bowl either. I can't remember what exactly they do to them.
I trust you have no further objections, defense. Alas, the time has come to send the soul of the victim onward to the Twilight Realm. What are you yamming on about, Prosecutor Sad Monk? We still have something we need to question Uendo about.
We do? Like what?
Well, don't just stand there.
But we don't have any evidence left to present.
Have you forgotten that already? Isn't there still a hidden witness you have yet to question?
Hidden witness? Oh, that's right. Your Honor, there's still one more issue we haven't finished discussing yet.
Oh, and what is this bit of unfinished business?
We haven't finished discussing this issue related to Uendo. We still have to discuss the possibility of a fourth personality, the one named Owen.
Are you suggesting that this fourth personality of Uendo's might be the true culprit?
Jeez, not that again. I told you we don't know anything about this Owen.
Look, Uendo, I know you don't have any motive to kill your master, but this Owen may have won for all we know.
Come clean now, Uendo. You've got another personality stashed away, haven't you?
Please tell us everything you know about Owen.
That's enough. The witness has already stated that he knows not of any Owen character.
Bravo! You tell her, Mr. Prosecutor.
Hey, Patches. If you claim you don't know Owen when you really do, that's tantamount to perjury. If you want to exercise your right to remain silent, however, well, that's a different story. Do not listen to the depraved prosecutor witness. You'll be tainted with his evil. Do you have any idea how dark and cold a prison cell is?
I exercise my right to remain silent.
What's this now? Changing horses in midstream, are you?
Shut up. I will remain silent and that's it.
Patches, you fool!
You stay out of this.
Patches is not the brightest bulb in that box you call a noggin, is he? The fact that he switched from I don't know any Owen to I will remain silent is proof that he does know about Owen.
There it is again. Simon's formidable psychological manipulation tactic. I'm sure glad he's on my side today.
You dirty, despicable, depraved prosecutor. You were leading the witness. Witness, there is no need for you to submit yourself to the defense's questioning.
Leading the witness is also a crime. Or a finable offense, anyways. Your Honor, Window is definitely hiding something. Actually, not finable. You can go to jail for that. If you do it enough. Please allow me to question this witness about the existence of Owen. Not like jail, but like the judge can be like, no, you're going in like the timeout jail for like a few days.
I suppose only this witness can confirm or deny the existence of Owen for us. Very well. I will allow the defense to proceed.
I've never met any personality named Owen.
Hedges was just blurting out nonsense in a panic. We're always aware, so we definitely notice if a personality like that showed up. How dare you treat me like a criminal based on mere conjecture?
Wow, how am I supposed to deal with the testimony of 3 personalities?
Unless you can prove the existence of Owen here, it's all over. You best screw your courage to the sticking place and attack their testimony head on.
Alright, I will. Just stop piling the pressure on me. I have to throw out some info, anything to drag Owen into the open. Met, huh? Is that how you experience each other? Like people meeting on the street?
Well, it's more like all 3 of us are always here. And the personality that's most suited to the moment is the one that comes out.
So when you're out, Wendo, what are the other 2 doing?
Well, we never know when our turn will come, right?
So we stand by and listen.
So that means all 3 of you share the same memories?
I never really thought about it, but I guess that's right.
I see. Thank you. But please continue.
So all we have to do is maybe not coax Owen out, but maybe just his memories.
Patches, can I have a word with you, please?
Why, hello, you rang?
You said at first that you didn't know anybody named Owen, but then you exercised your right to remain silent. Were you afraid of committing perjury?
Well, you see...
I'll take over from here if you don't mind. Listen, I hate to say it, but Patches is about as smart as a sack of rocks. If you grill him with a bunch of high-falutin words, he's going to want to keep silent.
I see. So looking after loose-tongued Patches is your role, is it, Miss Kisagawa?
Well, I don't know about that, but anyway. I do know that Patches was just flustered, and that's why he decided to remain silent.
But what if, for some reason, you 3 were unconscious at the time of the incident? If the 3 of you weren't alert and aware, what would happen?
What would happen? I'm not even sure what you mean.
I mean, you 3 share the same memories, right? But what if Owen is different? What if he has memories separate from yours? Maybe Owen emerges when the 3 of you are unaware or unconscious.
Instead of speaking as if this fourth personality is a foregone conclusion, I suggest you prove his existence first.
Well, we've already seen 3 personalities. A 4th wouldn't be a stretch.
You dishonor the victim in this court by jumping to such conclusions without proof.
Have you heard these old sayings, Prosecutor Satmari? What happens twice will happen thrice. If you see 1, there are likely 30 in your home. I'm basing my theory on such premises.
Comparing us to cockroaches, do we bug you that much, girlie? But how do you intend to prove it? How will you prove that all 3 personalities became unconscious, as you say? Unless you can do that, all of this talk is merely an empty speculation.
Well,
Don't be so timid. If you don't have it, then find it. Look for something that could render Wendo and the others unconscious.
Alright, Simon, you know what you need to do. Get over there.
Simon's right. Can't back down now. For my client, Mr. Wet, I have to... Wait. Mr. Wet?
Let me rest. Maybe if I was a lump of regular flour tofu udon noodles. But I'm fresh, like my soba. You let soba dough rest. It's all about the 3 freshes. Grind the buckwheat seeds fresh, cut the dough fresh, and boil the noodle.
He's blacked out.
She's ableist all the time, is she blind to it? Yeah, for, you know, a psychologist, she's kind of a little insensitive at times here. I mean, hey, you know, she just wants to learn how this guy works, right? She's just asking the hard-hitting questions as a lawyer.
Mr. Wet, falling unconscious. Wait a minute, I think I've got it.
Miss Sykes, do you have proof to back up your theory? What was my theory again? Oh yeah, that rendering him unconscious will make Owen come out? Yes, I think I might. Maybe.
Yes, Your Honor, I do. Proof is right here in this crime photo.
Is it? In that case, please point out what supports your theory.
This most likely is what caused the Wendo to lose consciousness. This is probably what made Wendo lose consciousness.
Ah yes, the sake. Isn't it just like Master Tornado to pick a fine brand like Camel?
I thought they made cigarettes.
Sake? Oh, you mean rice wine.
Oh, please. Don't call it rice wine. That's so unsophisticated. It's not even wine. Silly girl.
I must agree, you need to become more cultured, Athena.
Tomato, tomato. It's made of rice and people get drunk from drinking it, right?
Yeah, but like... That's like saying all alcohol could be called wine. That's like calling vodka wine.
It's called sake. End of story.
Fine, sake it is then. Ay, caramba, everybody's so touchy about these things.
Jesus Christ. What's wrong with Athena today? Holy shit.
I recall Master Tornado would have often have a drink or two before performing. He said it made him more eloquent. Drinking too much of the stuff can make one lose consciousness though, of course.
Force feed him noodles. Noodles made with sake. There you go. I'm sure that's probably... I'm sure that would work.
Look, there's 2 glasses on the table. Wendo, I believe your master offered you some sake. And then you must have drank too much and passed out. That's when your 4th personality, Owen, emerged.
I drank sake. Oh, that's a good one. We have a real sweet tooth, you see, so yes, we did accept a sugary red bean bun. But since we really dislike sake, we said no, thank you to that.
Believe it or not, we're really weak when it comes to booze. Even a tiny drop can knock us right out. So you see, I had a sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. What? But that can't be right. Defense demands that the glasses be examined right away.
You amateur, do you really think I had not already done so? Your foolishness is beyond the pale.
Don't tell me...
There was no trace of the witness having touched either of the glasses naturally.
Right, of course.
That's because he didn't touch the glasses because his master forced it down his throat. I don't know why, but that's obviously what he did.
Miss Sykes, would you like the witness's statement added to his testimony? Yes, please, Your Honor. Very well. So if you had even a tiny sip of sake, you'd conk right out, huh? That's why you didn't touch the glass that Master Tornado offered, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And maybe you ate something that had sake in as an ingredient?
I don't recall doing anything like that.
He doesn't recall doing it. But that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't. He just might not have known he did. I better take a good look at the evidence.
So you didn't drink any sake, huh?
Oh boy, now we're in trouble.
That kind of answer is exactly why Satmon keeps insulting you. Now use your head. There are countless ways Uendo could have gotten sake into his mouth besides drinking it.
Well, I don't know about the countless part, but...
But nothing. Give it some thought and you'll figure something out.
Witness must have had something that contained sake. Is there anything in the court record that hints at something like that?
Oh, I got an idea here. Oh, we never pressed this one. All right. Well, I might as well do it out of posterity.
Since somebody involved with this case is named Owen, we have to explore the possibility that he's a hidden fourth personality of yours. After all, the cards read Owen Fourth.
But how can you be so sure that's what the cards really mean?
What else could they possibly mean?
Well, for example, Owen the fourth hitter.
Who in the world is that?
He's a baseball player, a really great one too. Owen Gonzalez, 36 years old. He's a clean-up fourth place hitter, of course.
Such a famous baseball player was there hanging around in the theater. He would have drawn a lot of attention to himself, don't you think?
Well then, how about this? Maybe it means O-N-4-T-H, like ION-4000.
And who is this mysterious N person?
What? N isn't a person. It was Shisho's favorite hobby shop, Enjoy. He was a huge model train collector.
I see.
Maybe he owed the hobby shop some money, so he left a note to remind himself.
In Karuta cards on the table?
Shisho worked on many mysterious ways.
Are you even taking this seriously? I'm being completely serious. The point is, Owen Fourth could mean just about anything. I suppose you're right. I guess I better approach this from a different angle.
Oh, we're not using this as the evidence here? Damn. I clicked on the right thing, right? I clicked on the manju bun one that we added. Yeah, I clicked on the last one. What other evidence could I have used? The pictures are what? Is it... It's not that. I never had really any model trains myself as a kid, but I still really liked them. I had an uncle who was really into model trains, and he had a whole bunch. But I did not get any of his trains after he died, unfortunately. I had a lot of like wooden train stuff. And one of my favorite PC games was about playing with model trains. I didn't mean to click past that. My bad. Go back to that statement for a second here. Sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. I was using this because in this picture are buns made by Camel, so I assumed that the buns, like I'm pretty sure some people in chat said, have sake in them. So he ate the bun and then got drunk. But apparently that's not the evidence I'm supposed to present here. Apparently. It's gotta be the buns. Is it not this? Yeah, that's what I thought too. It's gotta be the bean bun. But what other evidence do I present that's related to the bean buns? I mean, am I crazy? Did I not present this on number 5? Let me check my history. Oh, it doesn't say what I presented. Okay. Yeah, I presented it on there. Yeah, I presented on the one I thought I did. Well, that's obviously the answer. What else could it be? All of this is just fluff. It's obviously this one. I had sweet manju bun, but I didn't drink any sake. I meant to click on present. God damn it. Okay. What are some suggestions here? What else should I present for this to represent sake? I don't have any other evidence. Or manju buns, I mean. It's literally the only thing that has them in the picture here. Are we presenting this because it's the wrapping paper from it? Are you fucking serious? That's stupid. Why is it not the obvious thing that has the buns in the picture? What else are we getting at here? Oh yeah, this clearly shows what made him go unconscious. A piece of paper. What does this prove? Versus the photo with the food by the same company that makes the sake. Like, but like, why not show the buns? They're in the picture with the same paper. This is pointless. This is the worst piece of evidence I could have possibly presented here. Mine was better. This sucks. This does nothing. This does not show anything. That note? Are you feeling lightheaded, child? Or perhaps a bit peckish? This is just making Athena look stupid. On purpose. I'm not hungry. My head feels just fine, thank you very much. This is dumb. I don't like this. They only did this because they didn't want you to have to present the pictures for like the 5th time this case. That's the only reason. They're doing this out of obligation just to mix it up for no reason. It's the only reason they made this puzzle this way. Look at the paper the snow is written on. Isn't there something familiar about it? This was like 100% designed as a gotcha. I guarantee anyone who played this case for the first time through would jump to the pictures immediately. Assuming that they knew what the answer was, they jumped to the pictures immediately and presented them. I guarantee nobody thought that this made more sense. What exactly is your point, Defense? Like, leave this as an alternative answer, fine. But this should not be the only answer. This fake design here reminds me of the paper from... The buns! In the photo! Wow! Look at that! Yep, it's a piece of the wrapping paper on the box of manju buns by the victim on the floor. Wendo, you may not have drunk any sake, but you did eat a sweet red bean bun, right? Well, yes, that's right. No, I didn't look at the paper. Why the fuck would I have looked at the paper? Please explain what good reason I would have had to consider the paper over the thing with the literal food in it that we're now discussing. Why would I show the paper when I could also just point straight at the buns that are also covered in the paper? Please explain why that doesn't make any sense to do. Okay, but that doesn't matter. Me not checking it does not matter right now. I saw it. I knew it had the camels on it. They showed it when they gave it to me. But that doesn't answer my question of why this makes more sense as the answer than pointing at the literal buns. I don't know if you're aware of it or not, Wendo, but I believe the manju you ate caused you to fall unconscious. The bean bun? But ow. Because those buns contained a secret ingredient. A very punchy secret ingredient at that. A punchy secret ingredient?
Yes. The design of the wrapping paper matches to have something else in the room. It does? The design of this paper object matches to have the manju box's wrapping paper. The camel pattern. It's the same one for the camel brand sake. I don't see why I couldn't just point at the manju. It's so dumb. This happens every case, and it's like every time it just never makes any sense. I would love to ask the designer of these puzzles to be like, why? Why would you not? Why would you do it this way? What good reason was there to do this?
So, just as Wendo said, he didn't drink any sake per se.
But he did eat some.
Impossible.
Wendo had a camel brand red bean bun, which boasts a nice shot of sake as one of its ingredients. So the defense is claiming that Wendo passed out after consuming a camel sweet bun, which allowed a fourth personality named Owen to emerge. Is that correct? Yes, Your Honor. That's exactly what I'm claiming. I will give them that. It did acknowledge that I clicked on the indents in the carpet. And it applauded me for pointing them out, despite them not being relevant yet. I'm very appreciative of that, and I wish that it did it more often. That it told you that you good job seeing this stuff. It's not relevant yet. Wait a bit. I wish the game did that more often. That's a good start. But it kind of lost all those favor points when it's like, no, don't click on the picture. You know the answer's the bean buns, but don't click on the picture of the bean buns. That's not correct. Don't do that. Click on this other thing that just has the wrapping paper instead. The less obvious thing. Click on that. Please. We need to use this evidence for something. We made this evidence up and we don't know what to use it for. You have to use it, please. I'm begging you. My boss is gonna kill me. He's gonna put me in the timeout corner if I don't make this part of the puzzle. There's one thing that bothers me. Wouldn't the alcoholic content of the buns evaporate as they are steamed? Yeah, that's usually what happens when you put alcohol in food. Doesn't stop me from refusing to cook with alcohol, though. Usually. Some depends on the kind of food. If you have like a brandy chocolate, there's definitely brandy in there. You're gonna feel that. But if it's like, yeah, if it's cooked like this, yeah, it should cook out the alcohol.
In order to give them a stronger flavor, some manju are especially made to retain as much of their alcoholic content as possible.
What kind of lightweight do you think I am?
The one that you admitted to earlier? Look, you may be a different personality, but you're still the same body, okay? Doesn't change the fact that a body is a body, and if a body is a lightweight when it comes to alcohol, it's gonna be a lightweight. Doesn't matter who's talking.
Even I wouldn't pass out from eating a simple manju. How about we test that theory? What do you say, Your Honor? Seeing is believing, as they say. Very well, I will allow a test. Thanks, Your Honor. Simon, go buy some camel manju, on the double. And don't forget to get me one too, okay?
No drinking on the job.
Why must I?
While you're at it, Prosecutor Blackwell, you will get one for me as well.
We're just all gonna be drunk. Oh, this is gonna be great.
Not the courthouse stable boy, you know.
How's the bird gonna buy them?
But just his words, I'll acquiesce. Taka, I'm counting on you.
Is the bird just gonna steal them? I mean, it really is. The shop owner gonna argue with the bird? Like, when that bird comes flying in through the door, is the shop owner really gonna object to it just picking up 3 buns and leaving? Like, why not get the bailiff to do this?
No of you had better pay me back.
Oh, but I thought it would be your treat, Prosecutor Blackwell. What a shame. Now then, let us adjourn into the manju arrive by Carrier Hawk. The court will reconvene as soon as Taka returns.
Is this the to be continued? Oh, that's perfect. That's great. I love this case. This case is great. Well, I guess you know what that means. Everyone's getting drunk next week. Drunk Phoenix Wright. Except me. You'll never see me do that. Ever. Not a million years. That shit's disgusting. Oh, I can't wait to see this. Everyone's gonna be drunk. And we're also gonna see Owen, whoever the hell this guy is. I am shocked that we never got to interview the defendant. I mean, yeah, the story-wise it made sense why we haven't. Maybe we will next time. But it's feeling less and less relevant now. I feel like next time we're just going to be getting to see Owen and clean all this up. Also, everyone made such a big deal about the clown. I thought they were going to make have a bigger part in this case. We saw them for one testimony. That's it. And then they were gone. Like, what was the big deal? Besides the third big deal. For anyone gets any funny ideas in chat. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, certainly a clown. But I was just under the assumption there was going to be more importance to it. Well, anyways. What an interesting cliffhanger. Never was I expecting a cliffhanger like that in a Phoenix Wright, but yeah, we'll be I guess everyone's going to get drunk in court. Is that illegal? I don't know. Probably is somewhere. I don't feel like that's not illegal. That'll be next time. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to finish it now because then I figured there's like a significant part to this trial yet, right? Like this was we got another half like this. It's not like gonna be super short or something. I'm not making a mistake doing this. Before I like completely decide to end this. I don't know. I feel like we're probably still a little ways off from it. It'd be hard. I'd hate to risk it. Well, you know what? I mean, if it ends up like being super short, I'm sure I'll figure something else out. I just don't want to start another case because I've got other plans for Tuesdays in October, and so you know I was hoping that I want to finish one more case. I promised one more case, and we'd finish the game off in November. So I mean, either way, I think it just makes sense to wait. But I'm hoping that there's enough of a case left here. I was told it was a long case. This felt like a good length, so I'm assuming the rest of it's going to be of similar length. So here's hoping that I'm not making a mistake with that. Either you end now or we possibly finish now. You can start the October stuff one day early. Well, okay, but how much of a case is left? Are we still talking like another 3.5 hours? Because like then I'll definitely stop. Are we talking like half an hour? Is part 2 as long as part 1? Is what I'm trying to ask. Because if it is, then we definitely have one more stream of it. Maybe I just made the assumption that it would be like that, but it doesn't sound like there's a ton left. I mean, I don't know where this case could go. I mean, could be some big twist. I'll just like blow it wide open. We do a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't know. Like it sounds like we're not that far off from finishing it. But I'll let Duck like weigh in on because Duck seems to know this game pretty well about how much is left possibly. 1 Moon Matrix and 2 Test Man. How much reading? I see. Yeah, I mean either way you're right. Like we just be okay. You know what? We'll save it. We'll save it because this was like a good length. I've done it. I've made the mistake before where it's like, oh, we're close to the end, right? And then it's like 4 hours later, and we're still not close to the end. So I'll save it, and like you know what? Either way, it's like if we finish early, I'll start the next thing. If we don't finish early, then fine, whatever. So either way, we'd be, you know, if I finished it now, if it was like really strong, we finished it now, then I'd still be doing different new stuff next week. If I finish it early next week, then we'll still be doing new stuff. So either way, it's fine. It'll work out. So yeah, we'll finish this case next week. Whether or not we also start something new depends on how long that ends up being. But I should have. I'm hoping that by this weekend I'll have everything tested and ready to go, and then I'll know exactly what I'm doing, and then I'll announce what we're playing this year. Besides the PS1 demo disc, because that's always a good time, and I kind of missed. I was disappointed that there wasn't one last year, so I'm really looking forward to this year's. So aside from that, aside from System Shock 2, aside from Mario, I've got some other smaller things planned alongside all of that. So one of those will probably start on Wednesday if we do finish this early. Otherwise, we got some Mario tomorrow, and we have, hopefully we'll be able to finish up our current goals in Minecraft this Friday, and then that'll be a good spot to like leave it so we can go do some other stuff during October. But yeah, I'm gonna stop this here. I don't want to make that mistake again. I've made it too many times in playing through this series before with previous streams, so I think I'll make the decision to just end it here. Yeah, we finished the case. There's some stuff before the next one. Yeah, okay. So because like you don't, however much reading there's, like, doesn't matter how many steps there are. Sometimes it's like, oh, there's only like 3 presentations left, but then you have like, you know, a fucking War and Peace worth of a novel in between those 3 presents that you have to do. That's definitely been a few cases like that. Mostly that's reserved for like case 5s, but I've definitely seen a couple times where it's sort of felt like that elsewhere too. So just in case, we will make it another part. That's kind of always the plan. I mean, stopping at the to be continued is kind of tradition at this point. So next week, drunk court, I guess. I don't know if that's ever happened before, but it's gonna happen now. Everyone's gonna get drunk. But yeah, Mario, Minecraft, System Shock 2 will come back next week, and we'll finish this on Tuesday. But in the meantime, thank you all for watching tonight. I hope everyone enjoyed. I am very much looking forward to seeing how this turns out. But in the meantime, I'll have a good night, and I'll see you next time.